Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Manchester Field at Mamaroneck High School. It's that time of year again, folks. Mamaroneck Tigers baseball, sectional semifinals versus the Arlington Admirals. We have a very exciting game with Ken Reischmann. I'm Steve Anastas, coming to you from Manchester Field. It's going to be an exciting game here. It's the 2 seed versus the 3 seed. Mamaroneck has been in the tops in the state and in the section all season long. Just a few hiccups. We're definitely going to have a very exciting game here.
Oh, without a doubt. Mamaroneck 11-1 on a home field, and today they get to try and do it again against a team that they took care of in the regular season, just like they took care of North Rockland in the regular season, got a chance to do it in the postseason. They'll do the same thing with Arlington today.
So it'll be Billy Flato on the mound again. Kumar Nambiar took care of business against North Rockland on Saturday in a very exciting, close game. It came down to the 7th inning, but they were able to wrap things up. So we'll be back in just a moment with the starting lineups and the start of action here at Manchester Field, here on LMC-TV Varsity Sports. So here we are at the start of action for the semifinal in Section 1. Ken, I gotta tell you, the excitement in the stadium is palpable. The fans are showing up. The game's about to start. It is number 2 versus number 3. New York, in New York State, Mamaroneck Tigers are ranked 11th, and Arlington is not in the top 20, but you have to imagine they're right behind them.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. And I mean, it's a beautiful day for baseball so far. I mean,
Right.
We're expecting a little bit of rain, but you got a nice breeze. The sun is out. So far, so good. Let's play ball.
Exactly. So Billy Flato is on the mound, as we mentioned, number 8. He's a junior, starting quarterback, and the first pitch. Low and away for ball 1, 1-0.
It started with a first pitch off-speed pitch there. It looked like a curveball to get things started. So
Batting lead up for the Admirals is number 10, Dan Schweitzer, the shortstop. And the pitch fires a fastball, letter high for strike 1, 1-1.
we'll take you through the Mamaroneck defense here, left to right in the infield. Matt, Pecora, Houghton, and Sommer. The same direction in the outfield, Gross, Genovese, and Kumar Nambiar.
Ooh, a little bit of off-speed action there from Flato. Doesn't fool the batter. He lays off that one, so it's 2-1. Hitters count now for the leadoff hitter.
Karlan, the battery made for Flato today.
Swing and a foul ball straight back. Caroms off the brick facade of the Mamaroneck High School building.
You know, I always wonder if you should bring a glove if you're doing a game up here, because you never know.
We have had several come right back up
Oh,
towards
yeah.
us in our time
It'll find you.
broadcasting. 2-2 count, and the pitch. Swing and a lazy fly ball. Emerson Genovese settles under it for out number 1, 1 away for the Tigers.
And solid defense is going to be a key today, because both of these teams, both the Mamaroneck offense and the Arlington offense, has the ability to capitalize on those mistakes. So you need to be defensively strong and make sure you get the outs that you're supposed to get. Do not give anybody any extra outs today.
The dimensions here at Manchester Field are 400 to straightaway center field, as Liam O'Leary takes strike 1 down the middle. And then it's 302 down the left field line and 325 down the right field line. Ground ball to Miles Houghton. He collects it, fires to Andrew Sommer. 2 away.
You don't see many easy ground balls off the infield at Manchester Field, and that one just skipped right along the top of the grass and easily handled by Houghton. So far so good defensively from Mamaroneck. And as you were mentioning, the dimensions here at Manchester Field, a little bit wild.
Yes.
You know?
Well, we've got the square track around the ball field, so that actually creates that short porch in left field.
And that long porch in center.
Exactly. We've seen several balls fly off that white facade over the left field fence. Ball 1 to number 20, Joe Asenza. Asenza will be playing center field for the Admirals today.
And Flato's done a good job of going right after hitters. Falls behind here on Asenza 2-0.
Flato has a sneaky fast fastball. Doesn't look like anything too special, but he definitely gets it past the hitters. There, he gets one in for a called strike. 2-1 count to Asenza.
He's certainly not shying away from his off-speed stuff, too. He's utilizing all of his pitches early on in the game to get these Arlington hitters off balance.
Mamaroneck defeated Arlington earlier this season as Asenza fouls that one straight back. 2-2 count. They defeated them 5-3 on May 9th here at Mamaroneck, and that turns out to be the difference between the home and away element to this matchup today. It was just by percentage points in Section 1 that they got the 2 seed. Ground ball right back at Flato. He handles it, takes his time over to first, and that'll do it for the top of the first inning. So 1-2-3 inning for Bill Flato, and the Mamaroneck Tigers will be coming up. We'll be back in just a moment here on LMC-TV Varsity Sports. And we're back for the bottom of the first inning. Batting leadoff for the Tigers is the catcher, Andy Karlan, number 13. Going around the infield for Arlington, the third baseman, number 11, Liam O'Leary. Shortstop is number 10, Dan Schweitzer. Number 1, Charlie Serino, is at second base. And number 30, Mark Barbieri, is at first. Around the outfield, we have number 22, Ryan Quinn. In left field and in center, number 20, Joe Asenza, and in right, number 28, Christian Johnson. As Karlan takes a ball 1.
And Karlan had a heck of a day at the plate on Saturday against North Rockland. Ended up with 2 doubles, one of which fell in between the shortstop and the left fielder, and the other one was a bomb out to right center field, which ended up going up against the wall. And as we were talking about the dimensions, that is a pretty deep part of the ballpark to hit it to.
Yes. Ball in the dirt for ball 2.
I believe his third hit was a single.
In the prior matchup, it was the same pitching matchup for Arlington and Mamaroneck as Karlan hits a deep fly ball, foul, clears the fence, and will bring the count to 2-2. So as I was saying, it was Steve Geringer, who is on the mound now for the Admirals, versus Billy Flato. And Flato got the better of the matchup, winning 5-3. I believe he went the distance.
Well, that seems to be the mantra of this Mamaroneck pitching staff, is if you've got guys like...
Swing and a miss. Karlan goes down.
It's a nice 2-strike changeup there. He left it up, and Karlan's a little upset that he came up empty there. He left the changeup up in the strike zone, and it's one that you've got to make contact on. But just a nice off-speed pitch, way out in front, 1 out.
So that brings up the first baseman, Andrew Sommer, number 26. Sommer is a senior at Mamaroneck High School. Takes ball 1 outside.
It's interesting, you see a lot of carryover from the football team to the baseball team here at Mamaroneck, and you see the same kind of carryover between the hockey team and the lacrosse team.
Ground ball, takes a nice easy hop for Serino, who throws over to Barbieri for the out. Out number 2. So 2 away. And the third baseman, number 20, Peter Matt, strides to the plate. Continuing your theme of football players, he's the defensive end for the playoff winning Mamaroneck Tigers football team.
And if the first 5 outs of this game are any indication, we're in for quite the treat of pitching today.
Yes. Ball low on the first pitch in the dirt.
Both pitchers have utilized their repertoires early on in the game. They've attacked hitters. Yeah, they may have fallen behind early in the count, but they've done a good job battling back, both of them.
Another ball low, so that brings the count to 2-0 to Peter Matt. Yes, Ken, definitely the way that the schedule plays out for the baseball teams at the varsity level, you only really need 2, maybe 3. Oh, strike around the knees there to Matt. Looking, so that's a 2-1 count. You only really need 2 or 3 top-level pitchers to be a force in the league and the section. Ground ball up the middle, shortstop cuts across, brings it in, throws a little high, but Barbieri is able to come back down on the bag, and that will do it for the bottom of the first. So 1, 2, 3 innings around for both Arlington and Mamaroneck. We'll be back in just a moment with the top of the second inning here on LMC-TV. We're back with the top of the second inning. The infield convenes at the pitcher's mound to get the proper daps and fist bumps.
One last vote of confidence for Flato.
Exactly. I tell you, Ken, this has been a real renaissance of sorts for the Mamaroneck sports program. We have the lacrosse team just won the Section 1 title and is moving on to the state tournament as Flato throws, catches the outside, lower edge of the outside corner with the fastball, 0-1 on the first baseman, number 30, Mark Barbieri. Swing and a miss, takes a big cut at that. 0-2 for Billy Flato.
Barbieri's got quite the hack up there. He's got a long swing. It's beautiful when he gets through the zone.
Yes.
It's a beautiful swing, but it takes him some time. So Flato, who can throw some gas, is going to have the opportunity here to maybe blow it by him.
Barbieri leaves that one up high from Flato for ball 1-2. Swing down the line, no problem for Andrew Summer. He takes it himself, 1 away.
And just as I was talking about that long swing, Flato comes back with some gas. Barbieri a little bit behind on it, rolls over it down to first. I mean, he made good contact, but just a little bit late on it.
So as I was mentioning about the Mamaroneck sports program and the growth and success they've had, the football team won their first playoff game in the playoff era. Strike to number 22, Ryan Quinn.
And as we saw on Saturday, the umpire maybe squeezing both pitching staffs of Mamaroneck and North Rockland. Today we're seeing a little bit of the opposite, right, as the strike zone seems to have expanded just a bit early in this one. Now let's see if he can remain consistent.
Fouls that one off, so it remains 0-2 to Quinn. So as I was saying, the football team wins, no problem, their first playoff game in the playoff era. And goes to double overtime in their loss to John Jay East Fishkill. The basketball team wins their first playoff game as Quinn sends a fly ball to Nambiar in right field. He calls off Genovese, handles that with ease, and we have 2 away. And then we have the field hockey team, which is always in the running for the state title. They've won one state title in the past several years, and they made it to the state final 2 years ago, I believe, and we're close to getting back there. Right. And then the soccer team was vying for a sectional title as well. I believe they lost in the final.
So, quite the programs.
Exactly.
I think that's the moral of the story.
Definitely. The athletic director, Barry Suman, definitely has a lot to be proud of with all of the coaches that she has in place. They are not going anywhere. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Billy Flato is on top of his game. Flato is the starting quarterback on the Mamaroneck football team, so they've got him. Oh, line drive. Oh, nice stop by Houghton. Unable to come up with the ball, though. That'll go as an infield single.
Yeah, nice job by
Christian
Houghton.
Johnson.
Houghton moving to his right, nice job. Gets that white uniform dirty. Somebody's going to be busy washing that one, but able to get the backhand stab on it. It looked like, it looked like Johnson made much better contact on that ball, but the infield dirt is very dry. And when that one bounced up on the infield, it slowed down exponentially, and that allowed Houghton to get to it. But that could be a factor moving forward. There's a hot sun beating down on that dirt, which is drying it up.
So that brings up the lefty, Matt Chipkin, number 21, who's your designated hitter today. He takes a strike.
He's hitting for the second baseman, Sereno, in the Arlington lineup.
Takes a ball there. It's a 1-1 count.
And so the first test for Flato with a man on. Not too much speed over at first with Johnson.
Pitch blows him away with that one. He is late on that. Swing and a miss. 1-2 count to Chipkin.
And like you mentioned, Steve, Flato's got that deceptive speed on his fastball.
He hides the ball very well in his delivery. So that ball jumps on you very quick when he wants it to. Pickoff move high, and Sommer does everything to make sure he brings that in so that the runner doesn't move into scoring position.
And like I mentioned in inning number 1, you've got to be defensively sound. And if something like that were to happen, you wind up with a runner in scoring position, and you can't let that kind of thing go down. So Sommer with a nice job.
Pitch high for ball 2, brings the count even at 2-2 to Chipkin.
And if there's one thing that Mamaroneck is sound on, it's fundamentals. And that comes from the coaching staff all the way down. And Chiapparelli, obviously, does a great job making sure that the fundamentals don't get passed over.
Swing and a miss, and that will do it for the top of the second inning. Flato rings him up on strikes. We'll be back in just a minute. The score is tied, 0-0, here on LMC-TV, Varsity Sports. So, batting for the Tigers is number 44, Andrew Gross, the left fielder. Andrew's a senior at Mamaroneck High School. Ground ball to the first baseman. Underhands it over to Geringer, and he's out for the first out of the inning.
Great job by Geringer coming over and covering first base on that ground ball to Barbieri down at first. And we saw them even practicing that in warm-ups, which was quite interesting to see a high school baseball team practicing having the pitcher come over to cover first in warm-ups before a game.
Yes.
But like we were talking about Mamaroneck fundamentals, that is an essential part of a defense, is having that pitcher cover that bag.
And to your point, fundamentals is probably what's going to do it in a tight pitcher's duel like this. So the batter now is number 2, the shortstop, Anthony Pecora. Pecora is a senior who had a home run in the last game. That ball over the first base dugout for the first strike of his at-bat. Pecora is batting .310 on the season.
So a few home runs in that game against North Rockland, all utilizing that short porch out in left field. Just 302 down the line.
Ball in the dirt, brings the count even at 1-1.
The Mamaroneck dugout getting up for this inning, trying to find their first base runner of the afternoon.
Pecora is right in the mix amongst the heart of the order with an on-base plus slugging percentage of .835. That is your on-base percentage plus your slugging percentage. .835, a very respectable rate.
Very respectable. Especially coming out of the 5 spot in the order.
Fouls that one back. Evens the count up at 2-2 to Pecora. We have the number 1 pitcher for the Mamaroneck Tigers playing right field on deck, Kumar Nambiar.
And Nambiar can do it with the bat. We saw that against North Rockland as well with that 3 RBI double to the opposite field.
Swing and a miss, dropped. He will race down to first. The catcher gets the lane on the inside and throws him away for the second out of the inning.
Another example of good fundamentals. Getting down, blocking that ball, keeping it in front of you, and then making the out at first.
Without a doubt, Ken.
Nice job by Zacco.
So the lefty ace is a lefty batter, number 41. Nambiar comes up with 2 outs in the bottom of the second inning. Score still 0-0 here at Manchester Field.
He's got a very calm batting stance, does Kumar. He holds the bat just a few inches above his shoulder, no wasted movement whatsoever before the pitch comes through.
He thinks about a bunt down the third baseline. Might have
drawing
thought
O'Leary
he was catching the third baseman, sleeping a little.
And then you see O'Leary now
up on the edge of the grass,
playing about 7 feet in from where he was last time until he's told to move back by the coach.
Ground ball to the shortstop. He races in to get it, throws on the run, and gets Nambiar for another 1-2-3 innings. So the pitcher's duel continues as Nambiar grounds out to the shortstop. No runs, no hits on 8 pitches for Geringer. Due up for Arlington is Zacco, Geringer, and Schweitzer. We'll be back in just a moment here on LMC-TV, Varsity Sports.
So back here on LMC Varsity Sports, Ken Reischmann, Steve Anastas here at Manchester Field on the campus of Mamaroneck High School. No score through 2. And Zakow, the catcher for Arlington, at the plate. And Flato ready to get the top of the third underway. He misses under the knees, 1-0. Mamaroneck still looking for their first base runner. They will come up with 7, 8, and 9 in the bottom half of the third. Flato pours that one over, 1-1.
Flato looking to be delivering a little bit faster than he was, moving the pace along a little bit.
Yeah, the pace of this game has been incredible as that one is chopped towards the middle of the diamond. Houghton fields and fires on the move to retire Zakow, and there's one away.
Nice throw on the run from Houghton. You know, not surprisingly, the shortstop and second baseman lead the team in errors, but that's only because they get so many opportunities.
Putouts, yeah.
It's not like those are their worst two fielders. Those are their best two fielders. It's just you expect them to make plays, and sometimes the ball can eat you up when you're playing middle infield.
Especially on this field. And we haven't seen it eat anybody up yet today, but this field can provide you with some doozies on the ground, as that one is over the outside edge for strike 1.
They did do an excellent job of prepping the field this afternoon.
The pitcher, Geringer, is the batter. So, a little pitcher-on-pitcher action, and Flato quickly ahead 0-2. Back to the top of the order after Geringer. It'll be Dan Schweitzer, the shortstop. He flew out to center his first time up. And 3 pitches, and Geringer down on strikes, 2 away.
So I suppose it's no surprise to let you know that Bill Flato has a .68 ERA on the season. Really is not giving up much of anything.
Not very surprising at all. So back to the top. Schweitzer the batter. First pitch from Flato. That's a strike, 0-1. And like we were talking about, the pace of this game has been incredible.
Right. For the uninitiated out there, a .68 ERA means he is giving up less than a run for every 9 innings he pitches.
The appeal down to first, and the field umpire says he goes around. So Flato, in his last 5 pitches, has thrown 5 strikes and is a strike away from retiring the side here in the third. 0-2 on the way. That one sits high, 1-2.
Just to illustrate that point, Ken, Flato has thrown 36 pitches, 75% of them 4 strikes.
That one on the inside corner, strike 3 called, and we're through 2.5. No runs, no hits, nobody left. Bottom of the third coming up on LMC Varsity Sports. So set for the bottom of the third here at Manchester Field. It's Orgalevitz, Houghton, and Genovese due up for Mamaroneck, still looking for their first base runner. And there it is, line drive base hit right back up the box. And speak of the devil, and he shall appear, as Tom Orgalevitz, the DH today, sends that one through the middle for Mamaroneck's first hit of the day.
Beautiful swing. You could see how he got that bat through the zone nice and evenly. When the bat stays in the zone longer, you have a much better chance of making solid contact, as opposed to the classic uppercut where you have to time it up perfectly. And so you're going to end up with lots of line drives when you swing like that. Beautiful
swing from Orgalevitz. He's DHing for Flato this afternoon. So now Miles Houghton will be the batter, the second baseman. And they'll check in on Orgalevitz at first. But with the bottom of the order here, Steve, do you try and manufacture, maybe try and steal a base and then bunt them over?
I think we will see some small ball, but with this being the first base runner, I think they'll probably want to see what they can do with the batting order.
Now Houghton squares, gets it down. It's a beautiful bunt. It forces Geringer to play it over to first for the out, so that'll move Orgalevitz to second on the sacrifice bunt off the bat of Miles Houghton. So nicely done by Houghton. Gets the bunt down beautifully in between first and the mound, preventing the first baseman, Barbieri, from coming in and fielding on the run and maybe getting the force play at second.
And now with Genovese up, the bottom of the order is here with only 1 out, which means that you've got the top of the order and a runner in scoring position, even if there are 2 outs. We've taken the double play out of action, out of play.
And you're going to let your bats do the work from here. So runner in scoring position, first one for either team this afternoon. Genovese the batter. First pitch from Geringer. Swing and a miss, 0-1.
Genovese is going to be playing baseball up in Canada this summer, working on his game, making sure that he refines things and continues to improve as he is a junior. So he has one more year with Coach Chiapparelli under his tutelage.
Oh, on the count. Geringer hits the knees with that one, 0-2. Orgalevitz about 35 feet in between second and third there, had to sprint back to second.
Genovese batting .400 on the season, so as a number 9 hitter, it's a very solid average.
It's a contact hitter, and that's all they're looking for here. Now check back on Orgalevitz. He walks in. 0-2 the count to Genovese. Karlan, the catcher, waiting on deck. He was a victim of a strikeout his last time up. Oh, Orgalevitz the lead. Genovese waiting at home. 0-2 coming from Geringer. Foul back to the screen. Off-speed pitch there, just got a piece of it. And they'll do it again. And you see the coaching staff telling Genovese to stay in on that. Keep his head down, keep his shoulders in, stay relaxed.
That's why, the only way really to improve your batting ability is, and improve your mechanics, is through repetition. So that's why he'll be playing baseball all summer.
That one sits high, and now 1-2.
Able to leave that one up. That would have been a tempting pitch for most less disciplined batters.
Always difficult to leave that cheese up there. The high stinky cheddar.
Orgalevitz not taking too deep a lead at second base.
Well, he almost got caught earlier in this at-bat. 1-2, that one in the dirt. Nice block there by Zachow, and that'll hold Orgalevitz at second. It's such an underrated play from that catcher to keep that ball not only in front of him, but within a reachable distance in front of him.
It's something that they try and teach at the youth levels, is to be active with your feet and get your body in front of it, as opposed to simply reaching for it with your glove.
2-2 on the way. And Genovese down the right field line. That is going to slice foul. And they'll do it again at 2-2.
A little bit late on that pitch, but that would have been just what the doctor ordered. A ball down the right field line would have scored Orgalevitz from second base on that.
Don't even need the blast part of a bloop and a blast here. Just a bloop will give them the lead. And the way Flato's pitching, 1 run might be enough. And Geringer in his first jam of the afternoon. 1 on, 1 out. 2-2 the count to Genovese. Top of the order on deck for Mamaroneck. Orgalevitz off second. 2-2 coming. High, 3-2. And this has been quite the at-bat from Genovese here.
I believe he's officially entered quality at-bat territory after these foul balls and taking these balls with 2 strikes.
Is that anything like a quality start?
A little bit.
So the count now full.
In a smaller package.
Yes, in a smaller package. So the count now full is at least pitch 8.
I believe this is pitch 8.
Yes. So, pitch number 8 on the way. In there, strike 3 called. So, that's the second out of the inning, and it'll be up to Karlan to get the run in.
That is a
letter high strike.
Strike 3, high on the outside corner. But obviously, Genovese did not agree with that call, but while there's no arguing balls and strikes in the major leagues, you definitely know that a high school umpire is not going to put up with any sass or commentary from a high school player.
Probably not. Let the letter high strike.
But we can question it up here,
Oh, yeah, no, he can't hear us. That's fine.
Right.
So now 2 out. Karlan, the batter, takes an ugly hack at that one and fouls it off, 0-1.
Seems like he almost wasn't ready for that pitch. It jumped on him pretty quick. He got his bat to the zone, but very late.
A little confused about that one.
Right. And
didn't look like he even wanted to swing, but then just kind of willed himself to get the bat through the zone.
Say no more. Coach Chiapparelli calls him over and wants to make sure that he has himself settled and ready for this next pitch, because this is a key at bat here in the bottom of the 3rd inning of a pitcher's duel like this. You have a runner in scoring position. You bunted, sacrificed to move him over there. You got the top of the order. That's exactly what Chap wanted. Definitely wants to try and capitalize.
Definitely a big spot, like you said. The way Flato's pitching, you need to get him some run support. Geringer ahead, 0-1. Pitch to Karlan. Swing and a miss, 0-2. And Geringer a strike away from getting out of this jam. It was a leadoff hit from Orgalevitz. He sent it back up the box. Then the sacrifice, the strikeout to Genovese, and that leads us to where we are right now. 0-2, 2 out. Orgalevitz at second. 0-2 coming. On the outside corner, strike 3 called, side retired. We're through 3 at Manchester Field. No score between the Admirals and the Tigers on LMC Varsity Sports. So we move on to the top of the 4th between the Tigers and the Admirals. No score. Flato on for his 4th inning of work. The batter is the third baseman O'Leary, and the first pitch over for a called strike, 0-1. And we talked about it earlier in the game. The consistency of the home plate umpire may or may not be more important than the actual strike zone.
Right. You know, they talk about that in youth baseball as well, the hitting zone as opposed to the strike zone. I think this may be coming into play here with the way that this umpire is calling balls and strikes. If it's a hittable pitch, you might want to be swinging at it because you don't want to be letting strikes go on the corners.
1-1
like
over. 1-2 now. And if you're Chiapparelli or part of the Arlington coaching staff, are you saying maybe expand your zone, take a few more hacks while you're up there?
It's a tough thing to do in a sectional semifinal.
Now when chopped towards short, Pecora fields cleanly, fires in plenty of time, and diving into first goes O'Leary. I don't know if he just wanted to dirty up his uniform or what, but
he's not happy with how that at-bat went, you can tell that. It did take an interesting bounce on Pecora. He was able to get his glove over, shift his body a little bit, and pull that in cleanly, make the throw hard over to Sommer at first.
That'll bring up
the out.
Asenza, the 3-hitter in the Arlington order, and so the question of do you expand your looking zone as a hitter continues to be out there as Flato finds the zone again, 0-1.
Well, a little birdie gave us a little bit of an opinion on maybe the zone is a little bit wider because of the impending weather with the storm looming on the horizon.
Storm is a brewing. That one misses outside, 1-1. No clouds yet, though, and you've got to be pretty happy about that. Either way, it's the 4th inning already.
Right. That is a little bit of a sectional conspiracy theory fed our way. I'll keep the contributor anonymous.
Yes. Yeah.
For fear of retribution.
Well, let's call him Deep Throat.
Yes.
So 1-1 now to Asenza, the batter. Center fielder grounded out to Flato his first time up. 1-1 inside. Flato tried to throw him the junk.
Looks like the curveball didn't really curve too much there, or not as much as he had wanted.
So, in essence, it was just a ball.
Yes.
And then it was. So 2-1. The count. Pitch on the way from Flato. That one low. Excuse me, that was the 3-1, and it's low ball 4. The ball got by Flato on the throwback to the mound, and so the turn at first from Asenza, but he'll have to hold it first. So again, the fundamentals and the defensive mental lapses rear their ugly head on the first walk of the afternoon to Asenza.
The first baseman, Barbieri, is up now. He grounded out to Sommer in his first at-bat. So let's see what the Admirals are able to do with their first base runner of the day.
So Flato misses low, 1-0, and so Flato now having some trouble finding the strike zone. Johnson singled earlier in the game, so Flato not working with a no-hitter. So no, we don't have to worry about
right, exactly. That wasn't their first base
We don't
runner.
have to worry about the announcer's jinx as they check in on Asenza at first. Both teams with 1 hit, both teams with 1 left on base.
Right.
First walk of the day, just now. And Flato deals, fouled back, first strike he's thrown in the last 5 pitches. So that's nice to see. Got to work through it on your own out there. And that evens the count at 1-1.
Nambiar playing, and Nambiar and Gross playing a little deep in left and right, with Genovese playing a little shallow. He has the speed, though, to make up for that.
And not much room to play out in left field anywhere else but deep.
Yes.
Might as well play on the track.
Well, but then there is the thinking, if you can get back, you might as well play shallow and let those
if you can get back,
those floaters get in.
Pitch on the way, swing and a miss, snap throw down to first, not in time. A close play down at first, but it did look like Asenza got his hand back in just in time.
Ate about a pound of dirt there.
And
trying to
like
get
we
back.
mentioned earlier, the game, this dirt is plentiful
Yes.
and is dry and dusty right now.
They did water it down, but with the hot sun and the lack of rain.
Yeah, so far.
Yes, exactly.
And they'll check back in on Asenza. So 1-2 the count to Barbieri. Got a sweet swing, that first baseman for Arlington. 1 on, 1 out. 1-2 coming. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. That's the second out of the inning. That is Flato's 4th of the afternoon. So Asenza still on at first. He reached with a 1-out walk. Now Ryan Quinn, the left fielder, the batter, the lefty. Sommer holding him on, so there's quite the hole for the lefty, but he punches it on the ground to short. They'll go the short way to Houghton at second, side retired. So 3.5 in the books. Still no score between Mamaroneck and Arlington. Back for the bottom half of the 4th inning on LMC Varsity Sports in just a moment. Bottom of the 4th here at Mamaroneck High School. Still no score between Arlington and the Tigers. 2, 3, 4 in the Mamaroneck lineup due up. It's Sommer, Matt, and Gross ready to hit for Mamaroneck. That one on the ground to the first baseman Barbieri. He'll flip to Garinger, who's covering. 1 pitch, 1 out in the bottom of the 4th.
Sommer out in front of that one. Seemed frustrated the moment he was even swinging.
Yeah.
Because he had no choice but to roll that over to the first baseman the way that he had been fooled by that off-speed pitch with the first pitch of the inning.
And both these pitchers have done a good job mixing speeds. Have not shied away from their off-speed stuff whatsoever. So it'll be Peter Matt, the third baseman, who's the batter, and he'll take low 1-0. And again, as we talk about consistency, that's a pitch that might have been called for a strike an inning or two ago.
Again, the off-speed pitch. Had Matt out on his front foot, but he was able to lay off it as it was in the dirt, so he didn't pay the price of being fooled by that changeup.
Matt quickly ahead 2-0 here, and I think you've got to be sitting dead red, ready to take a good rip at something. And he's out in front of the changeup on 2-0. Nice job by Garinger.
That is the art of the pitcher, is to be able to make the batter guess when you have a repertoire of several different pitches, fastball, changeup, and curve.
Perhaps when you graduate from thrower to pitcher.
Exactly.
And now we're even at 2 apiece as Matt fouls that one over the Mamaroneck dugout.
The third baseman for Arlington, Liam O'Leary, is taking over for Drew Ludbauer, who was a
2-2 rocket shot at the left fielder. Quinn, who was able to reel it in, didn't have to move an inch. And there's 1 out. Excuse me, 2.
Ludbauer was a pro prospect as a senior at Arlington last year, possibly the best player in Section 1. Chose not to go to the majors as he was looking to be drafted in the first couple rounds. And even though the first few rounds had gone by and he was still eligible for the draft, he chose Michigan instead and was playing very well in the first part of the season.
Emily, very similar to the...
and Michigan won the Big Ten, yes.
Similar to the Matt Harvey story. As Harvey got drafted and decided to go back to school for a few years and hone his stuff, he wanted to go first round.
As a matter of fact, his family had said, unless we were drafted in the first 3 rounds, we're going to go for the college education. And when you have Michigan calling, why wouldn't you?
Yeah, it's hard to say no to them. Also hard to say no to the major leagues, but major props to the
Ludbauers.
To the Ludbauers. 2-1 the pitch, softly hit back towards the middle. Going to be a tough play for Schweitzer.
Safe.
Can't get him. As Gross beats it out, it'll be an infield hit.
That is where your speed comes into play, and certainly comes in handy when you hit a soft roller. The shortstop's still charging, fields it cleanly, throws it cleanly, but because of the time it takes for them to get to that ball, you're able to race down that line.
Looked like Schweitzer kind of tripped himself up, got tangled up in his own feet, and wasn't able to transfer the ball from his glove to his hand that quickly, allowing gross to reach. Just the second hit of the afternoon for Mamaroneck, just the third hit overall for both teams. And they'll check in on at first. 2 out, 1 on. Pecora, the batter, he struck out his first time up. Still no score between these two teams. And another check-in at first.
If this run scores with 2 outs here, I would say being a lefty batter could be the difference between victory and defeat for Mamaroneck, because simply being on the left side of the box.
That one towards the middle, but scooping that one up and flipping over to second is Schweitzer to Sereno, and we're through 4. No score here at Manchester Field. Tigers and Admirals even at Goose Eggs. Top of the 5th, Flato on for his 5th inning of work. Johnson, who's got the only hit against him, is the batter, and make it the only 2 hits against him, as that one will split the gap and head all the way to the wall, and Johnson is aboard with a leadoff double here in the top of the 5th, and Arlington is in business.
Beautiful shot from Johnson there on a first pitch fastball. Rips it into the left center field gap.
And when you have somebody's number, you have somebody's number. Johnson now 2 for 2. The rest of Arlington 0 for with a walk. So now we'll see. We saw some small ball with Mamaroneck earlier. Now with a leadoff double in the top of the 5th, you'd expect to see some out of Arlington.
Chipkin, the designated hitter, doesn't look like the bunting type, so I expect he'll be swinging away.
And he certainly is, swinging at the first pitch, 0-1.
You know, that is the fine line between success and failure as a pitcher, is you just leave one pitch in the hitting zone, and a good hitter will do something with it, as Johnson did there.
So the leadoff double from Johnson, just the first leadoff man that's reached in this game. Excuse me, for Arlington in this game. Orgalevitz reached as leadoff hitter for Mamaroneck. 0-1 the count. Chipkin the batter. And time called at the plate. And that hit from Johnson has awakened the Arlington bench.
Absolutely, they are psyched up.
And Chipkin quickly down, 0-2. Nice job by Flato.
This is where Flato really has to rely on the consistency of his methodology and his approach. That shouldn't really change anything, because he had been mowing down the hitters. That was just one pitch.
Hey, you can't let that get in your head.
Stick with what got you here.
On the outside corner, strike 3 called, 1 out.
Beautiful pitch from Flato, painting the corner there.
Went with the soft stuff there on 0-2, and he got Chipkin looking.
So now with the catcher up, Coach Chiapparelli is calling the outfield in.
Zach out, not much power out of the 8-hole for Arlington.
And
1 out, 1 on.
Especially to left field, he's not expecting any power over
to the
Gross's
opposite
head.
field. And he rips it right at Sommer.
Beautiful.
2 out, check back at second. The throw is a little high, and that'll allow Johnson to slide in safely, but just that quickly, Flato's an out away from getting out of quite the jam here in the 5th.
If Sommer wasn't awake over at first, that could have been deadly, as it would have gone down the left field line. Nambiar would have had to dazzle us with his arm from right field.
Now we've been dazzled before. So now 2 out, 1 on, and it's Garinger, the pitcher, who will have a chance to do it himself.
You know that 90-mile-an-hour fastball that Nambiar can dial up every now and then.
Strike 1 from Flato.
Definitely would have served great purpose coming from right field with that runner rounding third.
But no dice, as Sommer able to reel her in. 0-1 the count. Garinger, the batter, he struck out his first time up. Flato deals. Faking or going for a bunt base hit there, I believe, was Garinger, but he offered and missed, and now it's 0-2.
It looks like he tried to pull back at the very last second, but there was no coming back from that offering.
So Flato is strike away from relieving the pressure. A leadoff double on the first pitch of the inning, and now he's a strike away from getting out of it. And he sits that curveball high, 1-2.
It's always the interesting thing that a pitcher getting fooled by a pitch, you'd think he would be able to pick it out and recognize it out of all the batters. He throws it himself. He should be able to see it. But, you know, look at the major leagues and the National League. They get fooled all the time.
1-2 the count. Pitch on the way. Fastball high. Snap throw down to second. Nobody there. It'll go into center field. Genovese backing up nicely. And that won't allow Johnson to move up to third. But like we've talked about through the entirety of this game, that is a mental lapse that cannot happen.
Luckily, Genovese was more awake than the middle infield was on that play. I think Karlan probably thought, I'm safe to throw it.
Yeah, you'd have to assume probably a missed sign on the part of the infield. Pitch out to center. Genovese lines it up, puts it away, side retired. So Flato works around the leadoff double, and we're through 4.5 of scoreless baseball between Mamaroneck and Arlington. Bottom of the 5th coming right up. So, bottom 5, scoreless baseball. Nambiar gets things started with a line drive single into right, and now Mamaroneck in business, just as Arlington was in the top half.
So Geringer has thrown 44 pitches, 29 of them for strikes for a 66% strike ratio, whereas Flato is 44 of 61 for 72%. Both pitchers really on their game. No surprise, it's a scoreless tie.
Do you have an intern doing all the math for you?
Technology, Ken. Technology is a wonderful thing. You got to use it when you can.
We could use some interns here, right? We'll talk about it after the game. So, 1 on, nobody out here at the bottom of the 5th. The batter is Orgalevitz. Nambiar is running, and Orgalevitz fouls it off. Hit and run play, maybe, from Coach Chiapparelli, trying to manufacture a run here in the bottom of the 5th.
Definitely a hit and run on that. Otherwise, Orgalevitz would have been letting that one go by to get the runner into scoring position. I think he's relying on the hot bat of Orgalevitz to send one into play and get Nambiar to third base with no outs or 1 out. Well, I guess it would be no outs.
Well, yeah, you would hope.
He would have had to go back if it was 1 out on the board after a swing like that.
So we'll see the way that Geringer wants to pitch to him. It's 0-1. Nambiar leads off first. And Orgalevitz takes on the outside, 0-2. So quickly in a hole here. Orgalevitz has one of the 2 Mamaroneck hits this afternoon. The other one we just saw off the bat of Kumar Nambiar.
Another Mamaroneck baseball insider tip that we've heard.
Nice job by Orgalevitz to stay alive there.
Despite the fact that Nambiar had thrown over 100 pitches in their sectional quarterfinal win over North Rockland, he could be called on to close this game out, depending on the situation.
Deep throat strikes again.
Exactly, as Geringer is the ace for Arlington. They are pulling out all the stops, so Mamaroneck will as well to try and close things out here, with the sectional final being on Saturday versus the winner of the number 1 seed RC Ketchum versus the number 5 seed Fox Lane on May 30th at 6 p.m. at Provident Bank Ballpark.
Orgalevitz on the ground, and that'll work just as well as a sacrifice. So a swinging bunt moves Nambiar over to second. Orgalevitz retired for the first out of the inning, and now we're in the same spot that we were in the 3rd inning with
Except
1 out and a runner on second.
Was there 1 out and runner on second?
Oh, excuse me, there were nobody out in the 3rd. But this time with 1 out, it'll be Houghton.
No, there was, because Miles Houghton sacrificed him over with the bunt.
Yes.
So there was 1 out and runner on second. You were correct. So I'm sorry I doubted you, Ken.
It's okay. You
just like in a math test, you go with your first guess.
See, if I had an intern, he would have told me I was right.
Right.
Right? Right. So, 1 out, 1 on, runner on second. It'll be up to Houghton and Genovese, Houghton and Genovese to try and get him in.
Those of you that want to expand our budget, contributions can be made to LMC-TV.org.
That slider misses outside, 1-0. At least when I was interning, I don't get paid. Either way, that's a conversation for the local live, I believe.
Right.
It's 1-0. Nambiar going to third, and he'll take it without a throw. So Kumar Nambiar able to go over to third. An obstruction play, and he will score.
Wow.
An obstruction play at third called by the field umpire. The Arlington coach out of the dugout to have a quick word with the field umpire. Nambiar comes all the way around to score on a stolen base of third.
That is
It looked like a fake swipe tag from the third baseman that they're going to call obstruction and allow Nambiar to come around and score on. And I mean, yes, it puts Mamaroneck up 1-0 here in the bottom of the fifth late in the game, but that's not the way you wanted to see it happen.
I have to guess, Ken, that is the maestro, Mike Chiapparelli, at work, knowing all the rules inside and out. He immediately had something to say for the umpire. The umpire very quickly made the call. I have to imagine that had something to do with it.
So now a quick conversation as the umpires convene on the left side of the infield, and that'll be quite interesting. I mean, it was a fake swipe tag. That did happen, but does that count as obstruction with no play at the bag? I'm not sure.
We'll wait to find out from the umpires conferring on the infield grass.
He was quite confident in the call that he made at third base. So not only did Nambiar pick up the fact that he should swipe third, not being checked out at second.
Interesting how there was no throw either, because the catcher definitely had time to make the throw. Nambiar was not very far down the baseline.
I don't think he knew that he was running. I think the lack of communication between the fielders, and now they're going to have the managers come out for a quick conversation. Right now, the scoreboard has Mamaroneck up 1-0, and it doesn't look as if Nambiar is being called out of the dugout. So it'll be the decision of the umpire and the managers here as they continue to talk it over. We try and get you the information as soon as possible, and now there's some.
So that is, we saw Chiapparelli motion. That is definitely
That's definitely the call. That was the
definitely the reason for the call.
So
and
now
the
they're improving out on the field.
Right.
Chiapparelli
a
acting
little pantomime.
Yes, acting the role of the third baseman. You can catch him on Broadway later this year. The count in all this is 2-0, and Gehringer trying to stay loose on the mound. So if the run were to stand, it would be 1-0 Mamaroneck. There'd be one out, nobody on, and the batter would be Houghton. And it looks like now there's some.
It looks as if
the third baseman being removed from the game. I think the third baseman is being ejected.
Oh, wow. So Nambiar is back to third.
So.
And Chiapparelli does not seem happy about it.
So Nambiar is sent back to third, but the third baseman is ejected?
He must have had something to say to the umpire.
So the third baseman, Liam O'Leary, is shown to the dugout. And so that'll be it for him. Nambiar, though, sent to third. So the run erased from the board. Nambiar credited with a stolen base. And he'll stay there, and it looks. And so let's. As if there'll be a new infielder for Arlington, and we apologize for our lack of knowledge of this situation, but
this is where a sideline reporter comes in action.
This is where an intern would come in handy.
Or a sideline reporter. Again, contributions can be made to LMC-TV.org.
And nobody out of the dugout yet for Arlington, so we do not have a replacement for O'Leary just yet. All right, so coming out for Arlington, Max LaBarbera, and he'll go over to second. And so I believe Charlie Sereno will go over to third, leaving Schweitzer at short. So, quite the delay here. We were talking about the pace of play all afternoon long. We were
a lot of drama
mowing down innings like they were nothing.
So the net of it is
A stolen
Nambiar
base.
is at third base with a stolen base.
Yes, so after all that, Nambiar steals third. And
Although
O'Leary
it does remove the number 3 hitter.
It
or
does remove
number 2 hitter from the lineup.
So O'Leary out of the game. Nobody getting loose in either bullpen. So it looks like it's Gehringer's game, as well as it is Flato's.
Well, I don't think that Gehringer's going to be coming out anytime soon, but if he does, Arlington's got a bit of an issue considering there are about 24 people standing in the bullpen for Arlington. So there's going to have to be a lot of relocating of the fans on the right baseline, the first baseline.
So we're reset here, and the umpires are reset, the field is reset, so we'll go over the infield again from left to right. I believe Sereno at third, Schweitzer at short, and that means that it is LaBarbera at second.
Barbieri at first.
And Barbieri at first. So, after what, about a 6-minute delay, 6-7 minute delay, it's a stolen base for Nambiar. And the count is 2-0 to Houghton, who swings and misses at the first pitch back from the break, 2-1. So quite the delay there, huh?
So we have Houghton and Genovese, and then the top here with 1 out. Nambiar.
And Nambiar coming home. The squeeze play is on, and Nambiar's in no man's land. He's tagged out by Zachow for the second out of the inning, and now plenty of talking going on between the two teams, led by Barbieri, the first baseman, who gave Nambiar quite the stare down after the out was made. The pitch high and out of the strike zone. No chance for Houghton to get that bunt down, even if he made contact.
Another classic tactic from Chiapparelli is if you are caught in a rundown, look for the defender in the base path, because if he makes contact with you, it is interference.
You're safe.
And you're given the base. Nambiar tried to employ that. As you could see him gesturing towards the third baseman, who was definitely in his way. I guess the umpire decided there wasn't enough contact.
Houghton fouls that one back. Now 2-2 it remains. So plenty of life thrown into this game really quickly.
Yes. Unfortunately now Mamaroneck's runner at third is wiped off.
After all that. Houghton down on strikes. Inning over. We're through 5. No score here between Arlington and Mamaroneck. We go to the 6th when we return on LMC Varsity Sports.
So we're back with the top of the 6th inning. Still a scoreless game. Dan Schweitzer, the shortstop, up to bat for the Admirals. He offers at strike 1. Looks like he pulled it back, but I guess that was over the plate, so it catches the plate for a called strike. 0-1 count to Schweitzer. Well, this game has had every bit of drama we could expect or hope for. Line drive into right field, falls for a single for Schweitzer, and the Arlingtons are in business here in the top of the 6th.
Well, plenty of life injected into this Arlington dugout over the course of the last 12 minutes, I would say. From that obstruction play, the O'Leary ejection, then the play at the plate on the suicide squeeze attempt, and the force out, and it looks like Arlington is a lot more jazzed than they were an hour ago.
Max LaBarbera is getting his first at-bat of the game, coming in for Liam O'Leary. Flato steps off and recollects his thoughts. You can see Flato has an interesting style to his attire. He has the stirrups, but has them loose behind.
That's a beautiful bunt there. It was a beautiful job by LaBarbera getting that one down in his first at-bat. Forces Flato to field, have to go to first with it, and then almost another mental mistake there from Mamaroneck to throw across the diamond from Sommer for no reason.
Obviously, that is their strategy, is to make sure that they get the ball into the hands of the third baseman so that the runner at second doesn't consider running over to third. But
that's a throw that you can't make in that situation. The third baseman,
risky.
Matt, was backing up back to the bag. The shortstop, Pecora, was running full speed to get to the bag at third. both of them weren't set in their ways at all. And it's just a throw that doesn't need to be made. But luckily for Mamaroneck, I believe Pecora was the one who was able to reel it in. And now, Chiapparelli going over some defensive alignments, I'm sure, with the 3 and 4 hitters due up here and 1 out.
So, Joe Asenza grounded out in his first at-bat back to Flato and walked in his second at-bat.
And again, this Arlington bench, they're loving it right now. Oof, not sure where that one missed.
The energy level has really picked up on both sides of the aisle, so to speak.
And you see the cloud cover starting to get a little bit more intense.
Strike called for 1-1 count for Bill Flato. He's thrown his 66th pitch of the day, 5th of the inning. Increased his strike percentage with 48 strikes on the day.
Now Flato's got to do himself a favor here and find the strike zone against Asenza. You don't want to put anybody on with a free pass here.
Swing and a miss at the off-speed pitch. And the Mamaroneck crowd livens up there. Definitely the largest crowd we've had this season at Manchester Field.
And back and forth we go. Pitch 1 is a ball, Arlington side gets loud. Pitch 2 is a strike, Mamaroneck side gets loud.
Flays that one off down the right field line, foul and out of play. So it remains a 2-2 count to the batter, Asenza, with the cleanup hitter, first baseman Barbieri, on deck.
Huge out here for Flato. They'd love to do it via the strikeout.
Houghton backhands it and throws over to first to get the second out of the inning. The runner, La Barbara, moves over to third base on the play, or sorry, Schweitzer. And there are 2 away. And as we said, the big cleanup hitter, the first baseman, Mark Barbieri, strides to the plate.
And if there's one person who was really excited in that, in the bottom of the 5th inning, it was Barbieri. You saw him stare down Nambiar after that tag out at home. Trying to call time here, and he'll get it.
Barbieri grounded out to Sommer in his first at-bat and struck out swinging.
He's got that long swing through the zone. Takes him a while to get those hands through. If there's one thing you want to see here from an Arlington standpoint, you want to see him bring those hands in just a little bit and get that barrel through the zone just a little quicker.
Takes the ball high for ball 1, 1-0 to Barbieri.
I mean, the swing is beautiful, and I'm sure when he makes contact, that ball flies.
Strike on the outside corner, 1-1. So Schweitzer is on third base, and Peter Matt is nowhere near the bag. They are not concerned about him at all. Ball high for ball 2. Hitters count 2-1.
The reason why it's a little scary that Matt's not over near third is because Karlan has no problem throwing down to a bag after a pitch.
Right.
And the last thing you want to see is that ball down the left field line.
Ball 3 high, 3-1.
And now if you're Barbieri, you are sitting fastball all day long right here. 3-1, a chance to do some major damage. You pick a spot and you pick the pitch.
Look for something low and outside here.
And if you're Barbieri, you can't be afraid to be 3-2. You're at 3-1 right now. You pick a pitch, you pick a spot, and you sit on it.
As I say, you shrink your zone to the area that you want the pitch to be in, and that's what you're swinging at.
And if it's not there, leave it.
Right.
Who cares? Then so what? You're 3-2?
You got to live for another pitch. Swing and a miss. Big cut from Barbieri. Swings right through that one, and now the count is full
and
with 2 outs.
You saw that long swing again. Took him a long time to get through the zone there.
So the drama is sky high here at Manchester Field. 3-2, 2 outs, man on third in the top of the 6th. No score. Swing and a miss, and he gets him.
Look out.
Oh, and Barbieri is frustrated with that one as he swings right through strike 3. That'll do it here in the top of the 6th. No score here on LMC-TV Varsity Sports. We're back in the bottom of the 6th inning. Emerson Genovese will lead off the inning with a sort of a second leadoff situation, as he is your prototypical leadoff type hitter. Bats for average, makes contact, and is fast as the wind.
Not much wind today, though.
Takes a strike on the lower outside corner. Maybe he can generate some,
There we go.
So it will be Genovese, Karlan, and Sommer. Swing at a ball into the hole. Shortstop ranges over, throws, and gets the speedster by about a step and a half for the first out of the inning. We are approaching walk-off territory here for the Mamaroneck Tigers, as Geringer is still dealing, as is Flato. So this could go to extras if not a walk-off situation.
Wouldn't that be something?
And wouldn't you know it, there is Mr. Nambiar in the Mamaroneck bullpen.
Well, I mean, you can't play for Saturday. You have to get to Saturday. So, you know, you saw Flato go in round 1, Nambiar in round 2, Flato now in round 3.
And Flato had been pitching great, but he is starting to, we are starting to see some cracks in that.
Yeah, I mean,
in that pitching delivery, or at least, you know, in his steely resolve with regards to how the Arlington batters are hitting him.
It's a tough spot. It's a tough spot to be in right now if you coach Chiapparelli, because you need one of them to go on Saturday.
Well, I tell you what, though, Ken, it's
but you got to get there.
It's a 3-0 count with 1 out to Karlan. Couldn't be asking for a better situation in this moment.
Well, now you take it at least until you get 1. Oh, he's swinging on 3-0. Now, as much as I love...
Well, he definitely sent that for a ride, but about 50 feet foul, so now it's 3-1.
Yeah, you know, and as much as I'm a young, new school kind of guy when it comes to 3-0 counts, I have no problem with people swinging 3-0. I don't know if this is the spot you want to. But that one's
a deep fly ball. Ranges back and settles under it is Johnson. Christian Johnson makes the catch for the second out of the inning. A little bit of excitement there for the Tigers, but it ends up nothing more than a long out. Christian Johnson actually is 8 for 9 in the postseason. 2 for 2 today.
Yeah, he's doing his business.
Definitely.
But anyway, back at Karlan in that spot, up 3-0 in the bottom half of the 6th inning in a tie game. I think that's an at-bat where you take until you at least get 1. At least. Maybe even make him throw 2.
There is that school of thought, but then there is also the idea that Karlan is one of, if not their best hitters, and you know that he's going to be giving you a strike, definitely over the heart of the plate, so you're definitely not going to see a better pitch, and he tried to take advantage of that. Oh, a bunt from Matt, barehanded, safe at first base. The speed of Peter Matt able to beat out that bunt for an infield single. And the Mamaroneck Tigers are in business with a bunt single.
It's Andrew Sommer who reaches with 2 out.
Oh, I'm sorry, Andrew Sommer. Their build is so similar.
Yes, they are very similar. I have been
confusing them all season long.
Sommer just a little bit more speed than Matt.
Yes.
Just a little bit. But now he's aboard, 2 out.
And now Peter Matt
And
is
now
up.
Peter Matt. And I would not be surprised. This is a spot where you'd like to see Sommer try and swipe one here.
Right, or a hit and run.
Oh, with 2 out, I don't know if you'd put the hit and run in play with 2 out here, but you try and swipe a bag, and the worst thing that happens is you open up the bottom of the 7th, 3, 4, 5, meet your order. Best thing that happens is you have a runner in scoring position with 2 out for your 3-hitter.
Yes.
So I think in the next few pitches you might see.
Oh, a deep fly ball. That's over the center fielder's head. Oh, and he gets there in time for the 3rd out of the inning. A long Long fly ball from Peter Matt. But the inning is over, and we head to the 7th in a scoreless tie here at Manchester Field. We'll be back in just a moment on LMC-TV. So we're back at the top of the 7th inning. An interesting development here. Kumar Nambiar, slated to pitch the sectional final on Saturday if Mamaroneck gets there, has taken the mound for the top of the 7th inning. And the first pitch is low, ball 1 to Ryan Quinn.
I'm not sure if you can see it on your screens, but also in the bullpen, still throwing for Mamaroneck, is Billy Flato. And you are allowed to re-enter a pitcher, but on re-entry, he's not allowed to throw any warm-up pitches on the mound. So if Chap were to go back to Flato,
I suppose in the 8th or 9th,
he wouldn't be allowed
to throw. Nambiar to throw too many pitches.
Exactly.
So they're keeping Flato warm in the bullpen so he can keep going. After all, he only threw 76 pitches.
Yeah, he's still got plenty of juice left, or you would assume he still has plenty of juice left.
Two foul balls by Quinn makes it a 1-2 count for Nambiar.
Or if Nambiar gets through the top half of the 7th and Mamaroneck's able to pick up a run and walk off with a win, then you still have Flato for Saturday.
Right.
So plenty of options.
Swing and a miss for Nambiar. Ryan Quinn goes down on 4 pitches, and that's the first out of the inning. Now batting for the Admirals is number 28, Christian Johnson. 2 for 2 on the day, 8 for 9 in the postseason, as we mentioned, while he was making that catch in the outfield in the last of the 6th. Pitch on the outside corner from Nambiar is a strike, 0-1.
So the line on Flato right now, 6 innings, just 3 hits, no earned runs, no runs at all.
Low from Nambiar is a ball 1, 1-1 count to Johnson. Definitely going to pitch this batter carefully.
6 strikeouts for Flato in those 6 innings.
Guarantee you that Chiapparelli, we are not the only ones that know how hot that Johnson is as he fouls that one off to bring the count to 1-2.
Well, this is probably why you're seeing Nambiar.
Right.
You're probably seeing Kumar against a guy like Johnson, who's 8 of his last 9.
Exactly, and then Chipkin, the designated hitter, is obviously in there for his hitting prowess.
Exactly. So, bring in your ace. Shut him down. Don't let him beat you.
Swing and a miss gets Johnson. So Johnson is now out. I think Karlan was a little confused there. I think he thought there were 2 outs.
One more, buddy.
Tossed the ball back out to the mound, and so Nambiar started the ball around the horn, but I think Peter Matt said, you know what, let's just focus on the batter here, Kumar.
We've got a pinch hitter here. It'll be Simon Alvarez out of the dugout to pinch hit for the designated hitter, Chaplin. So Alvarez is the batter, and Chiapparelli out of the dugout, sending his outfield back a few steps immediately. And in the Arlington bullpen, some action as well. They have moved the fans.
Right.
And I believe that is Evan Kleingens getting loose.
He offered at that one, strike 1 to Alvarez.
So Alvarez clearly has some pop. Chiapparelli moving that field back real quick.
Ball high, 1-1.
Hopefully no more substitutions in that spot of the order, though, because I'm out of room on my scorecard.
Exactly. Called strike 2 to Alvarez. Nambiar has thrown 11 pitches, 8 of them for strikes, so he is doing his job.
No balls in play just yet.
And the 1-2 count on the outside part of the plate, off the plate for ball 2. 2-2 to Simon Alvarez, the
that's been a strike
hitter.
for a good portion of the day, so that's too close to take if you're Alvarez.
Oh, he looked like he wanted to offer it that one in the dirt, but the count moves full, 3-2. Now Nambiar only has a handful of walks on the entire season.
Walked a couple back on Saturday, I believe 3.
Swing and a miss, he gets him. And that'll do it for the top half of the 7th inning. The score remains 0-0 here in Manchester Field of Mamaroneck High School. We'll be back in just a minute with the bottom of the 7th inning. The drama is high. We're here in the bottom of the 7th inning. It is walk-off time for the Mamaroneck Tigers as Andrew Gross, the left fielder, strides to the plate. Still on the mound for Arlington is Steve Geringer. And the first pitch is fouled off for strike 1.
So let's see. I mean, nobody's been able to crack through yet. It's been quite a baseball game. And we've had the luxury of some beautiful weather.
Gross had the infield single in his last at bat. Leaves that one low for ball 1. So Gross is 1 for 2 on the day. He is a classic line drive hitter.
Mamaroneck has had hits in each of their last 4 innings, and they've left them on base each of those last 4 innings. So you need to get somebody on, move them around, and get them in instead of trying to suicide squeeze them home with 1 out.
Low, ball 3, and the catcher walks out. Zakow is walking out to Geringer to talk him through this last pitch of the at-bat. And Andrew Gross motions to the crowd and to the bench to start livening up some.
Remember, Kleingan's still getting loose for Arlington in their bullpen, so he's ready when needed. Really, really, really want to get this leadoff guy on if you're Mamaroneck.
Fouls that one off.
Good hack at a 3-1 pitch there. He was sitting dead red the whole time.
Brings the count full, 3-2 to Gross. And the payoff pitch. High, ball 4, and that'll put Gross on with no outs here in the bottom of the 7th.
That's the winning run there.
So you've got your speed on the base paths. You've got your hitter at the plate in Anthony Pecora. Shortstop is 0 for 2 on the day.
And
he
it looks like
struck out on a drop third strike in his first at bat and reached on a fielder's choice in his second turn at the plate.
Kleingan's ready to pounce into this one. It looks like Arlington is making a change here, and maybe some defensive movement as well.
Exactly.
So.
I believe there's just some strategy here from the coach. Daryl Flynn is talking to his infield about how they're going to approach this. They definitely know Coach Mike Chiapparelli's reputation for trickeration and strategy to try and move runners over and try and squeeze that run across.
You think that's a real word?
Oh no, but if the president can use it, then can't we?
I think I love
that's
it,
the
though.
one wonderful thing about the George Bush administration's time in office was there were a couple of new words invented in the English language. Strategery and trickeration are 2 of my favorites. I believe he just said that just this last week at a commencement speech that I am proof that C students can become president of the United States. So they do move the pitchers, and that is number 26.
It's Evan Kleingans.
Evan Kleingans coming in to relieve Geringer.
I think we're going to step out.
We'll be back
just a second.
in just a moment after this pitching change here on LMC-TV, Varsity Sports. So here we are with a runner on and no outs in the bottom of the 7th inning. Evan Kleingans comes in for the Admirals in relief of Steve Geringer.
So Pecora, the batter, at the very least, you've got to put the ball on the ground to the right side.
He tries the pickoff. No dice there. Gross is back.
I mean, the infield at double play depth right now, you've got Sereno and Schweitzer up the middle. Excuse me, LaBarbera and Schweitzer up the middle. And Barbieri holding the runner on at first. You've got a large-sized hole on that right side of the field, and if you're Pecora, you need to put it through that hole.
Geringer threw 69 pitches in 6 innings. Oh, beautiful changeup. In for a strike.
Now, it's something that Kleingans has probably been told to work on is slowing down of his arm.
Right.
Which is noticeable from up here, and I'm sure from Pecora.
Nice line drive from Pecora. Puts 2 runners on with no outs. And now at the plate is the pitcher, Kumar Nambiar. He can end it here with a nice line shot into the gap.
You know he's got it in him. You do. You know he can put the ball in the gap. You know he can put it down the line for the win.
We've also seen him offer it a few drag bunts as well throughout the season.
I really think this is a spot where you need him to put the bunt down. You need him to put the bunt down.
Chiapparelli calls for.
You've got Orgalevitz on deck, who's been smacking the ball all postseason. They got the wheel play on. And it's a good eye by Nambiar, 1-0. But I think this is the right call from Chap. I really do.
That shortstop was blazing over to third base.
Yeah, they're playing the
ready
wheel
to get the advanced runner.
Playing the wheel, but maybe that was just the original plan. You know, see if they'll play the wheel, and if they are, then swing away. And that was it.
Ball inside, 2-0 to Nambiar.
I mean, now at 2-0, I mean, you got to sit dead red and see if you can get a pitch to win the game.
Mamaroneck is definitely quintessentially in the driver's seat here.
Oh, yeah.
With 2 runners on, no outs, bottom of the 7th, solid hitter at the plate. They can do basically whatever they want with this next pitch. And once again, the runner at second, Gross, looking to induce the obstruction charge as the shortstop runs around him to try and cover third on the play.
See, and the last thing you want here, especially if you're Mamaroneck, is to get caught up in this kind of semantic.
That's the shortstop is talking to the umpire right now, talking to the pitcher. He's the one that called for time. He definitely wanted to have something to say to the umpire as he walked over to the pitcher. Under the guise of a timeout to talk to his pitcher, he wanted a moment to say what he had to say to the umpire at second base. Now he's playing deep. Ground ball back at the pitcher. He throws to second and gets him at first for the double play. Nambiar nailed in the 1-4-3 double play, and there are 2 outs, but the winning run still at third base.
Well, on the ground, it looked like a hesitation from the pitcher. Kleingans was going to give Nambiar the ability to beat it out. And Kleingans took his sweet time getting that ball over to second, but a beautiful turn by the shortstop Schweitzer and the throw back to first in time.
Orgalevitz with the drive to right field, caught. So a first pitch.
On we go.
Swing from Tom Orgalevitz would have been the winning run there and the winning hit. Instead, we go to extra innings here at Mamaroneck High School on LMC-TV, Varsity Sports.
So, on to extras. Free baseball. Or
I
extra
believe
free
all the baseball was free, Ken.
Yeah, or extra free.
All right. This is public schools, actually.
It's public television also.
Public television.
And you don't have to pay for the intern. So here we go. First pitch from Nambiar here in the top of the 8th. Mitch is outside, and it's 1-0 to the catcher, Zachow. So Nambiar will stay on to pitch the 8th, and after much conversation as he finds the strike zone with that one, you'd assume that he can't go much longer than 20 or 30 pitches.
He's thrown 16 so far. We'll see how far Shap feels comfortable going.
1-1 over for a strike, now 1-2. So it's Zachow, then Geringer, or I should say Kleingans, who took over for Geringer in that bottom of the 7th. And swing and a miss. So Nambiar has seen 4 batters. He's got 4 strikeouts. All swinging.
It is amazing watching a pitcher like Nambiar. Looks so smooth and effortless, yet no one can really touch his pitching.
So it is Geringer who bats. 1 out, nobody on. And Nambiar gets it by him, 0-1. And he's just pouring them over.
Geringer 0 for 2 on the day.
Struck out and flew out. Those two at-bats against Flato, and Nambiar finds the outside corner, quickly ahead 0-2.
Just as loud as Arlington was earlier, they have quieted down with the specter of Kumar Nambiar on the mound against them.
Bottom of the order for both teams here in the 8th, as that one just misses outside, 1-2. It's 8-9-1 for Arlington, and then 8-9-1 for Mamaroneck as well.
Karlan tried to frame that one to help his pitcher out, lower the pitch count.
1-2, struck him out swinging. The throw will go down to first, 2 out. 5 batters, 5 swinging strikeouts, and that is just another homage to how great Kumar Nambiar is on the bump.
Yes.
His swings and misses, not only strikeouts, but swings and misses, getting batters fooled in the box, making them look silly, and he's done that 5 times already today. On what, 24 pitches? Not even 22.
Quick comment on Andy Karlan. I don't think he knows how to throw the ball softly.
No.
He had all the time in the world to throw down to first base, and that still had a lot of giddy up.
Nambiar ahead 0-1, and it's on the ground to second. Houghton gobbles it up and throws in plenty of the time. And we go to the bottom of the 8th. Another chance to win it from Mamaroneck. Still no score on LMC Varsity Sports. So bottom of the 8th, Kleingan's on. And Houghton steps in and takes ball 1 to get things started. So 1 run for Mamaroneck, and they'll be victorious. They move on to play the winner of R.C. Ketchum and Fox Lane, excuse me, not Foxwoods.
That would be an interesting game.
2-0 catches the corner, 2-1.
They're going to decide the sectional championship over a game of
Game of roulette.
right.
On the ground,
in the hole.
towards
Nope.
the hole. Schweitzer fires, got him, 1 out.
Nice
The-
play from Schweitzer. He definitely knew that he had speed on the bases, on the base path, as he fired over to first with all his might.
That game between R.C. Ketchum and Fox Lane in a weather delay at the moment. Bottom of the 4th, 2-0 Ketchum. Not a complete game, I don't believe. They need to get through 4.5. So they'll have to resume that at some point. Genevieve's now the batter, and he takes first pitch strike, going 1.
Barely a cloud in the sky here, though, Ken, so we'll see. Up, he fights that one off.
And Genevieve fists that one into foul territory. 0-2 quickly. So if Mamaroneck unable to score, we'll go to the top of the
order.
9th, and it'll be 2-3-4 for Arlington, La Barbara, Ascenza, and Barbieri. And Genevieve's tops one foul. Count remains 0-2. And interesting to assume that Nambiar will probably get 1 batter, maybe 2 in the 9th if we go that far.
You know, he might just decide to stick with him and let him keep going to ensure the victory.
I mean, at this point, as Genevieve's down on strikes for the 2nd out of the inning, at this point you need to get to Saturday.
Right.
And it no longer becomes who's going to pitch on Saturday. It becomes let's have that dilemma.
Right.
Let's make that a problem.
You cannot over-strategize in this situation and try and go back to Flato for fear of...
So Karlan, the batter, he doubled twice on Saturday. Today, he's 0 for 3. Struck out twice so far, and he's down 0-1. Takes that one up and away.
Yep.
1-1. The pitcher, Kleingans, took over for Geringer last inning in a bit of a jam and was able to work out of it. That one bounces on the plate, 2-1. You'd love to get this.
Tried to get Karlan out in front on that one, but it worked to Karlan's advantage. He's got a hitter's count now.
You'd love to get this to Sommer and possibly Peter Matt in this inning. Chance to win it. 2-1, time called. And so they'll reset and do it again. Almost a dangerous timeout there with Kleingans already in his motion. And that one sits high, now 3-1, and Karlan a chance to do some damage. And like you said, Steve, a big-time hitter's count here.
Yes.
3-1 coming. Curveball catches the corner. Nice pitch from Kleingans, and now the count is full.
I suppose he didn't really have a choice there because he could not feed him a fastball.
Can't throw him a fastball there.
Better to put him on base.
3-2. Swinging a high fly ball out to right center field. Johnson moves over. He's under it, puts it away, and on we go to the top of the ninth. More free baseball here at Manchester Field. We're even still at zeros on LMC Varsity Sports.
So here we are in the top of the ninth inning. Nambiar remains on the mound for the Tigers. As we were talking about from a strategy standpoint, first pitch is a strike. Did you expect anything less from Kumar and Nambiar? As we were talking about from a strategy standpoint, there is no tomorrow in the ninth inning. When you are deep into extra innings, as Nambiar continues to dazzle, you've got to win today. And you'll deal with Saturday when it comes, if it comes.
I mean, the question now becomes for Nambiar is how responsible can you be with it?
Right.
I mean, he threw 118 pitches on Saturday. That's 3 days ago.
Right.
And
well,
he's
only thrown 26. This is essentially like a side session.
Essentially a side session,
with
yes.
a little bit more velocity.
But the last thing you want to see is, you know, somebody like Kumar, who's got such a bright future ahead of him, hurt himself in this kind of game.
Well, there are a couple things he has going for him. First of all, it was Saturday, so that's Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, 3 days of rest. He has such a smooth delivery and fine mechanics. Swing and a miss.
That's, what is that, 6 strikeouts now and 7 outs.
Gets the batter, was that Evan Kleingans that was batting? It definitely was not La Barbara.
Either way, I think that the question is not, okay, we're not going to have him for Saturday, oh well, no problem. The question is, how do we make sure that he's okay?
Right.
You know?
No, but yes, I understand. I'm talking more about the fact that with that kind of delivery,
of course, and he's got solid mechanics. He doesn't put too much stress on his throwing arm. It's all lower body for him. He's got a great delivery, and it helps him stay healthy throughout the course of the season. But 118 pitches is not a little amount of pitches. And he's 17 years old.
Right.
And he throws a lot of off-speed stuff. So how many times in a week?
Beautiful pitch from Nambiar there for a called strike, 2-1 to Asenza. Joe Asenza, 0 for 2 on the day. Fouls that one off down the right field line. Brings the count even at 2-2.
Oh, another batter against Nambiar is 2 strikes. I'm baffled. Whatever will happen.
It is a mystery, wrapped in an enigma.
Oh, look,
Called
you got him.
Strike 3.
It's almost as if it's a storybook that you've read 100 times.
Right.
1-0, 1-1, 1-2, strikeout.
Mommy, read it to me again.
Yes. Good night. Good morning, good afternoon, good night.
Back to the big first baseman, Barbieri. He looks at called strike 1.
Is this the part of the story where the cow says goodnight to the moon?
Yes, I believe so. And the batter is looking at the moon go through the strike zone. Ground ball right back to Nambiar. He lobs it over to Sommer, and that'll do it for the top of the ninth inning. 1-2-3 inning for Nambiar on 12 pitches, 35 on the afternoon for Nambiar. I imagine we'll see him for the 10th if there is a 10th inning, but hopefully for those Mamaroneck fans out there, this will be it in the bottom of the ninth inning here on LMC-TV, Varsity Sports. So rather quickly, we're back in the bottom of the ninth inning.
Well, they know that the weather's coming.
Right.
And they moved the game up a half hour to give themselves a window, and now we're playing extra
Sommer
baseball.
with the high fly ball that does not have the distance. The center fielder settles under it for the first out of the inning. Joe Asenza.
And just to get back to my weather point, they moved the game up a half hour. They gave themselves a window to finish the game, and they would have done it in plenty of time had either team decided to score a run during regularly scheduled baseball. But instead, we're in the bottom half of the ninth inning, and we don't play 9 in high school. We play 7. So they are fighting the weather gods and gods always have a way of winning, don't they?
Ken Reischmann becomes Ken Weatherman. 1-0 count. I think I felt a drop.
Oh boy.
Swing and a miss for Peter Matt. Big cut at that one.
I don't know what you felt a drop of.
It might have been sweat. Might have been perspiration from the stress of the moment. I don't see a cloud in the sky, but I could have sworn I felt a drop of something. Maybe someone spit off the rooftop.
I did not, I promise.
Oh, another tough, hard swing at a high strike for Peter Matt, and Coach Chiapparelli immediately calls him over to remind him of the strategies.
Settle down.
Put the ball in play.
Pulled his head off big time on that last swing. He's going for the win. I mean, and this is the problem. And it's not only in high school baseball, but it's in college and professionals as well, is when you've got a chance to win the game and a chance to be the hero, you want to do it.
Right.
And it's more relevant at the high school level, but that's a teaching moment for any coach right now, is to say, listen, get on base. Then you can be the hero, you know? Do something
Another
productive.
high pitch. This time, Matt leaves it up.
And the very next pitch, he leaves the same pitch that he just swung out of his boots on.
Oh, hard ground ball right at the shortstop. Throws it over to first for the second out of the inning.
Well, he put a good swing on that one. And this Manchester Field infield has been nice to the fielders all afternoon long, and that one with a solid hop up off the lip right to the shortstop.
So Andrew Gross is up. Andy Gross now 1 for 2 on the day. He is eyeing that 325 sign down the right field line, I'm sure.
Well, hopefully not, or he's going to get another talking to from Shap.
That one letter high, waist high for a strike rather. 1-1 count to Gross.
Wind definitely starting to pick up. You can definitely sense the changing of the weather.
Does not offer at that one. Not really even close there, but they did check with the third base ump.
You know, another letter high pitch that has been called for a strike a few times today, that this time not so much. So you can understand the the anger from some of the Arlington fans.
Gross fouls that one away down the third base line into the crowd. 2-2 count. Kleingans with the pitch. High breaking ball, stays high. Count is now full on Gross.
And that is not where you want to leave your breaking ball ever.
No. Fastball grounded up the middle. Shortstop ranges over. Fires to first. And he gets him. Nice stretch from Barbieri to get Gross at first base. And that'll do it here in the 9th inning.
Now, we've seen it a few times. Schweitzer's got a gun from short, and he retires the side in the 9th, and on we go.
So no hits, no errors, no runs on 12 pitches for both sides in the top and bottom of the 9th inning. We move on to the 10th here at Manchester Field on LMC Varsity Sports.
So here we go. It's top 10. And Nambiar's first pitch of the inning swung on a miss. That is Ryan Quinn, the left fielder, who's the batter. He's 0 for 3 on the day.
Was there any doubt, Ken?
No, never is. 0-1 coming. Chop foul, 0-2 quickly. Chiapparelli fields and fires in plenty of time, and
gets the
right
runner
back to
at
the
the
mound.
mound.
0-2. In the dirt, did he go? They're going to say he did. Karlan's got plenty of time with the runner not going, and he's out.
Wow.
So the batter, Ryan Quinn, offers at the 0-2, doesn't get out of the batter's box for a good 5 or 6 seconds, allowing
I've got to
Karlan
tell you, he had an opportunity at first base there.
Yeah.
That ball went all the way to the backstop. Of course, Karlan sprinted over, fired to first, his best fastball in the dirt. Sommer was able to field it.
And Nambiar's first pitch to Johnson misses.
Stop the presses.
Outside.
A first pitch ball from Nambiar.
Johnson, who was 8 for 9 coming into his last at-bat in the postseason, as he swings over that one, 1-1, struck out on 3 pitches from Kumar. So he's 8 for 10, but 0 for 1 against
Koo has
Nambiar.
now thrown 40 pitches here in this game, so he is really in jeopardy of not being able to pitch in Saturday's game.
And that one catches the corner, 1-2. There have been 9 outs recorded by Kumar Nambiar this afternoon. 8 of them have been strikeouts.
Oh,
that one
Karlan
fouled off the
catches it
hand
on
of
the wrist.
Karlan. That's going to sting for quite a while, but he'll be all right. And the camaraderie between the umpire and the catcher, who have all felt that pain too often.
Right.
As he'll go out and talk to the pitcher, he'll come back, probably wipe down the plate a little bit, maybe tie his shoe,
Right.
the whole 9.
If I had to speculate, Ken, as to what the strategy would be for Coach Chiapparelli, it would be going with another starter on Saturday, assuming the win, Francis, and then having Kumar in his back pocket for a closing opportunity if they were to get the lead.
Johnson just did get a piece of that one to keep the at-bat alive. So the count's 1-2, 1 out, nobody on. And Kumar's not invincible. We saw him get beat a few times over that short left field wall against North Rockland on Saturday. They took him deep twice. And that one chopped on the ground. Houghton takes the easy hop, throws him plenty of time, 2 away.
So the ball is taking clean bounces here on the infield all day. We haven't seen any tough hops or tough plays for any of the infielders.
It took some good care of this infield before.
Schweitzer had made a couple dazzling plays at short.
Yeah, you've seen Schweitzer, who's been defensively phenomenal.
Right.
For Arlington this afternoon. So the batter is Alvarez, who pinch hit back in the 7th inning, or yesterday. And he takes ball 1.
Another first pitch ball from Kumar, but with his superior control, I'm starting to realize it could be that because he's thrown so many first pitch strikes, he might have been trying to entice someone to swing at a first pitch ball. Because
1-1
now,
over the
just
outside.
as quickly, he has thrown 2 pinpoint outside corner pitches to get a 1-2 count.
Count 1-2 to Alvarez. Nobody on, 2 out in the top of the 10th. No score between these two teams. Winner will move on. Loser will start up the barbecue for the summer.
Or hit the golf course.
Or hit the golf. I don't know if they do that at the high school level.
Or move on to their summer tournament team.
Yeah, so the summer tournament team. So 2-2 now. The count. Pitch on the way. In there, strike 3, called, side, retired. To the bottom of the 10th we go. Mamaroneck looking to get the run that'll send them to the final. No score between the Admirals and the Tigers on LMC Varsity Sports. Bottom of the 10th we go on LMC Varsity Sports. It's Pecora leading things off. First pitch outside, 1-0. So Kleingan's on for his 3rd inning of relief. Remember, he came in the bottom of the 7th in a bit of a jam and was able to work out of it. Now 1-1.
Thrown his 35th pitch of the day.
Pecora, the batter, he singled his last time up. Now he swings through that one, 1-2. Nambiar waiting on deck, followed by Tom Orgalevitz here in the 10th. Pecora on the ground to short. Nice solid hop for Schweitzer. 1 away in the bottom of the 10th. And no real threat in extras for either team thus far. It's been quiet as we can look over our right shoulders, right out past the building. We see the storm clouds. They are here.
Yes.
So things getting a little more dicey now, and I believe as Nambiar steps into the box and he'll take outside 1-0, I believe that this game, if it does get rained out, would be resumed tomorrow afternoon. And that would be a Thursday afternoon. The 1-0, Nambiar takes the strike, 1-1.
Resumed, is that R-E-Z-O-O-M-E-D?
I was going to say reconvened.
Yeah, okay.
But then I decided zoomed was the better term. Nambiar shoots it towards the middle. Schweitzer another chance. Fumbles it a few times getting it out of his glove, but he got him by half a stride. 2 out. So Schweitzer having a little trouble getting that ball out of the mitt there, but He's got a strong arm, and he's able to retire Kumar for the second out.
Reconvened would have worked, considering we would be reconvening.
We would. I don't know if we'd be back.
Hopefully they'll have us.
Hopefully we'll be back. We'll talk to our guy.
Right. After the chicanery on the mics, maybe they wouldn't want us back.
Things get silly in extras.
Yes.
At least Keith Hernandez not here moaning. Orgalevich's in the box. He'll take strike one.
Not the pitch he wanted with 2 outs.
2 out, nobody on here in the 10th. 0-1 the pitch. Chopped slowly back to the mound. Easy play for Kleingans. And we continue on. To inning number 11 we go. Still no score between these two on LMC Varsity Sports. We'll be right back.
First pitch is a ball from Nambiar. Here we are in the top of the 11th inning at Manchester Field. Oh, looks to bunt, but takes it for a ball. 2-0 count. Definitely the first 2-0 count that Kumar has gone to here this afternoon. The batter is Austin Zakow. And he takes another ball, ball 3-0.
Apologize for my silence. I'm trying to configure a way for an 11th inning on my scorecard.
My partner, Ken Reischmann, is having some...
I'm college educated.
Some paperwork issues here as Nambiar blazes in a 3-0 strike. 3-1.
I got it. Here we go. I figured it out just as soon as Nambiar did.
All right.
Now 3-1.
Oh, low in the dirt, and the first runner is on.
Well, that's not what you wanted to see, to the 8-hitter.
We will see some gamesmanship here, I imagine, with Nambiar throwing over to first. That lefty trying to keep the runner from advancing. We'll see if the number 9 hitter sends a sacrifice bunt up.
You would assume.
And he fouls it off.
Well, this is where you want to see the excellence of Nambiar. You put yourself in this problem. You know, you put the 8-hitter on with a 5-pitch walk. Okay, so this is your spot. Now,
right.
This is you've opened up this can of worms, Kumar. You've got to close it.
So 0-1 count to Gehringer, who is 0 for 3 on the day. Another foul ball on another bunt attempt.
And you know what? As much as Kumar has got to get out of this for himself, this is a bunt that Gehringer has to get down. This is fundamental baseball at its best. I have to
imagine he is not going to be bunting with 2 strikes.
I think he will. I really do. I really think this is a spot where you try and get it down. He's 0 for 3 on the day.
I don't believe that wagering is allowed on a non-profit broadcast. Otherwise, I'd be. How about a gentleman's bet?
All right, that's fair.
Oh, there it is.
He shows
he
bunt.
fires over to first. No, does not get him.
All right, does show bunt count?
Show bunt counts. Only in so much as we now think that he might be bunting even with 2 strikes. I am converted over to your side.
I'm very much under the impression. I mean, he's the 9-hitter. You've got Schweitzer on deck, top of the order. The worst that happens is that he strikes out for the 3rd time today.
Right. Got him at second base. Beautiful job from Nambiar and Houghton. Charging in and catching the ball as he steps on the bag in stride. Beautiful force out.
Wow. Fielder's
choice in the books, 1-4. And the runner is at first with 1 away.
All I've got is wow. Let me first say that I was right. He bunted. Let me secondly say that is one heck of an idea from Nambiar to go to second with that one.
And he did not fire it very hard because
that was a scary moment.
Was not there.
That was a scary, scary moment.
Ball in the dirt. Karlan does a admirable job of keeping the Admirals from running to second base on that ball in the dirt.
You're happy he made that play and you're happy you got the out, but that is a bad play from Kumar. You've got to get it out. Listen, again, you're happy you got the force and he keeps the go-ahead run on first here.
I
But
got to
still.
say, knowing Kumar's family, I'm going to say that's a bold statement from you to say getting the lead runner in the 11th inning was a bad play.
Oh, man, it's gutsy. It's gutsy.
That's it.
It's
Yeah, we'll
gutsy.
call it
Okay,
gutsy.
we'll call it gutsy. Fundamentally, you'd like to see him go to first and get it out.
Well,
He felt he had a lot of time. Houghton wasn't quite there.
I'll go so far as to call it daring.
Yes, okay.
But, you know, they work on their fundamentals
And
here.
you know what? And I'm sure that he knows. Listen, I'm up here, and it's a lot
Right.
easier said than done.
Exactly.
Right? But it's a play, and especially with the juices flowing in the 11th inning of a semifinal game, winner goes to the final.
I think another thing that as Nambiar throws another strike looking, 2-1 count to Schweitzer, another thing Kumar might be thinking is if there's runners on first and second, that's not really any more of a concern. Go for the double play and gets it. Pecora to Houghton to Sommer. 6-4-3 double play ends the top of the 11th inning. Score remains 0-0. We will go to the bottom of the 11th inning on LMC Varsity Sports. Here in the bottom of the 11th inning, we have Miles Houghton at the plate, taking strike one.
Thank you.
Second pitch over for strike two.
You know, probably should have taken care of this paper in last inning as well, but here we go.
Kleingans, ball is off the glove of the first baseman, but Kleingans is over to cover, and they get Houghton 3-4-1 out at first base.
Yep, you don't see the 3-4-1 put out that often anymore, but
Not
a nice
much
job.
at all, no.
And you know, it's funny, we talk about it in the pregame with the pitchers practicing covering first base in warm-ups, and you never know when it's going to come back and haunt you, and it does in the bottom of the 11th.
So Kleingans has thrown 45 pitches, 30 of them for strikes. And Emerson looks to bunt on that play, but takes ball one.
Good take.
Fouled up towards us,
Oh boy.
off the glass, and off the broadcasters.
Almost our camera.
Yep, almost off our cameraman.
Missed it by that much.
I believe that's a foul ball into the broadcast booth. Ground ball up the middle. Throw over to first, gets the out. Schweitzer to Barbieri.
Schweitzer's been nothing but phenomenal over at short today for Arlington.
I would have to say he has made more outs than anyone else in the game
I'd agree with you.
thus far. More putouts, that is.
Oh. You know, I didn't major in arts and crafts, I'll tell you that much.
Kleingans with the delivery. Karlan able to hold off. They check down to first, but he did not offer. 1-0 count to Andy Karlan. So in the 2-0 count now to Karlan, we have Andy Karlan, Andrew Sommer, Peter Matt, Andrew Gross.
Yeah, plenty of Andes coming.
Yes. Called strike, 2-1.
I mean, you got to give credit to Kleingans here, who's done a heck of a job coming in and out of the bullpen for Arlington.
Ball high, 3-1 count.
And I
have to imagine that Kleingans, much like Nambiar, was the pitcher that was going to be lined
Yes.
up for Saturday
Yes.
if they had won this game.
Saturday is no longer the plan.
Ooh, Karlan wanted that one, was not really ready to swing, so that lands for a called strike, 3-2. Swing and a ground ball back up the middle for a single. And Karlan is on with a ground ball single up the middle. And with 2 outs, we have the winning run at first for Mamaroneck.
So that'll give Sommer a chance. Sommer's last time up gave one a ride out to right field. That was reeled in for an out, but Mamaroneck another chance here.
Well, with 2 outs, he's definitely going to be looking to drive something into the gap here.
Yeah.
First pitch, ground ball up the middle. Oh, it's fumbled by the second baseman. Safe at second, safe at first. And 2 runners are on as Peter Matt strides to the plate. I suppose that has to be ruled an error on the second baseman.
That's a tough scoring call. I'm a hard noser, so I'm going to give him an E.
Yes.
It's a tough play, though, moving towards the middle of the diamond on the backhand.
As the official scorer for my son's tournament team, I'm faced with that decision many times a game.
It's hard.
That was an error.
That's a tough play at any level.
It was a tough play.
You know, he's moving to his right. He's a righty, so obviously he's on his backhand. He's got to twist his body.
The ball did not take any crazy hops.
Yeah, he got there,
He
though.
had the runner at second if he wanted.
Call.
It would have been a fielder's choice at the least.
Oh, a 2 out that just would have ended the inning.
So a single from Peter Matt. We will see what Shap does at third base with Andy Karlan standing at second.
Plenty of speed. 3 stolen bases in that game against North Rockland on Saturday. Matt, though, 0 for 4 on the afternoon.
Foul ball on a tough, hard swing.
Yeah, he put a good hack on that one.
Evens the count at 1-1.
Matt 0 for 4. He's grounded out twice, hit one on a line in the 4th. That was caught by the left fielder.
The delivery and the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2.
Beautiful off-speed pitch there from the pitcher for Arlington.
So
well
with
out
a
in
1-2 count and 2 outs here in the bottom of the 11th inning, Coach Mike Chiapparelli calls Peter Matt over.
Swinging out of his shoes.
Talk a little bit of
it's that simple.
Strategy, and I'm sure to instill some last-moment confidence in the batter.
A 1-1 changeup that looked like it caught plenty of plate and looked like it was in a nice spot to be hit is something that you want to sit back on and drive.
Right.
And Matt, again, in a situation where he can be the hero,
Ken, what are you
swung
looking
out of his
for here?
shoes. I mean,
off speed?
Yeah, I mean, you've got to be looking off speed, but if you're Matt, you can't be sitting on any pitch. You've got to be ready for anything.
And the pitch. Oh, off the plate. And the Arlington crowd did not like that call at all as the count evens up at 2-2. So the off-speed pitch did not fall in for a strike.
Consistency,
and here we are,
2-2.
Oh, and that's a balk. He balked. So the runners will move from first and second to second and third. And now a single will definitely win it for Peter Matt. All the strategy changes here.
No, you can't put him on, without a doubt. I mean, you've got Andrew Gross waiting on deck, and there's 2 strikes on him. I mean, you've still got the ability. I mean, there's no reason to think if you're Kleingans or if you're Arlington favored here, that there's no reason to think you can't get Matt.
Moves to the windup. The pitch, strike 3 called on the outside corner. Kleingans gets out of the jam. Matt walks discouraged back to the dugout, and we move on to the 12th inning here on LMC-TV Varsity Sports. Score tied 0-0.
So here we go. It's top of the 12th. We've played double the baseball. Almost. And Nambiar misses low for the first pitch in the 12th, 1-0.
His 63rd pitch of the afternoon, Ken.
So already 63 plus 118 on Saturday. I think you're entering questionable territory with whether or not he should still be in this game. I mean, he's going to need at least 70 to get out of this inning.
Call me old school. You go with your ace, and you go.
I'll call you old school. I'll do it. Don't think I won't, Steve.
Just don't call me old. 1-2 count now.
Yeah, Nambiar up 1-2. I mean, he's been phenomenal. That one chopped slowly back to him, and he'll get it over to first for the first out of the inning. I mean, he's allowed just 1 base runner, who was then erased on a fielder's choice, and then the 6-4-3 double play. But in any event, I mean, now up near 70 pitches.
44 strikes and 66 pitches so far, Ken. Flato was 54 strikes and 76 pitches.
Flato no longer throwing in that bullpen for Mamaroneck. The bunt is down, and that's a beauty. Gonna be a barehanded try.
Beautiful.
Not in time.
Oh, man.
Oh, man. Matt off the line. A barehanded try at first. Beat it by half a step. Time is called, and they go ahead run aboard with 1 out in the 12th.
I want to see the instant replay on that to see if he was safe or out.
No challenges in baseball. It looked like he beat him by half a step.
Yep.
But now the go-ahead run aboard.
Regardless of the call, that was a spectacular bunt.
Beautiful bunt, but also a great play coming down the line by Peter Matt.
Yes. Barehanding it, throwing a strike.
That's a beautiful toss. It's
Andrew Sommer.
David Wright-esque coming down the line.
Andrew
with a barehand
Sommer
throw.
stretching full for the catch.
And I think what you've got to be most impressed about with this game is the fact that the weather seems to be holding up.
I don't think that's the most impressive
I
thing.
think it is. I'm impressed by the weather. So 1 on, 1 out. And that pitch misses low. The batter is Senza. Senza,
after first pitch strikes to just about every batter, he's gone first pitch ball to several in a row here, Ken.
Senza 0 for 3 with a walk. That came back in the 4th. We're in the 12th now. That one low and away, now 2-0. And let's be honest, it could be fatigue.
Yes.
And it could very well be fatigue.
Yes.
I think that's got to be your leading hypothesis here with Nambiar and why he's falling behind so many batters.
Right.
Almost 200 pitches in 4 days. That's a lot. This is no longer a side session.
We'll see after this next pitch, but I think I just picked up a bit of a tell for Nambiar.
Oh.
Nope, I was wrong.
On the ground, could be 2. Houghton to second for 1, on to first, in time, double play, side
Beautiful
retired.
play by Andrew Sommer to scoop that throw up from Pecora to end this inning.
To the bottom of the 12th we go. Still no score at Manchester Field. It's the Tigers and the Admirals we play on. So bottom of the 12th, first pitch, swing and a miss. It is Andrew Gross, the batter, 4-5-6 for Mamaroneck here. Gross, Pecora, and Kumar. The wind picking up, getting a little darker. He went around on that one, quickly 0-2. Getting darker quickly, and let's not forget that the sun also goes down at some point in the night, and there are no lights on this field.
Right.
And so at some point that gets dangerous, and that'll have to be a consideration as well. 0-2, foul back, they'll do it again. And this might just be an annoying, nitpicky thing, but from here, the baseballs don't look all that new.
No.
They look quite used. And that could prove to be a problem.
Right, it's 6:40 in live time.
That went inside, 1-2, and that's the newest baseball I've seen for a while.
Right.
And this, I think sunset probably somewhere around 7:30-ish, 7:20. 1-2, in there, strike 3 called, 1 out. Kleingans has been spectacular for the Admirals out of the pen. Nobody warming up for them. Cloud cover starting to creep in.
Pecora singled in his 3rd at bat. He is 1 for 4 today.
0-1 curveball next to strike zone, 0-1. Pitch on the way, swing and a miss, 0-2, and Kleingans making quick work of Mamaroneck so far. The heart of their order. Now
Mamaroneck has 6 hits. Arlington has 4 hits here in the bottom of the 12th inning.
And Pecora, nicely done over there at 3rd. And that's the 2nd out of the inning. Moving to his left there and making the play is number 1 for
Serino.
Arlington, Charlie Serino. Started the day at 2nd and then moved over to 3rd after the ejection of Liam O'Leary.
Right.
And that was way back when? Way back in the...
I think that was on Tuesday.
Gosh, that was way back in the 5th inning. As now Nambiar, the batter, He'll take inside 1-0. Nambiar was also part of that play as he stole third. The objection rule was called. O'Leary was ejected, and initially it looked like Nambiar would score, but instead he had to stay at third. That one's a major league pop-up in between short and left. Oncoming is Quinn, and we play on to the 13th inning here at Mamaroneck High School. Still no score between these two teams. Steve will take you back in just a moment.
So in the top of the 13th inning, dusk and cloud cover are starting to darken the field here as Nambiar throws his first pitch for a strike. Been a while since we've said that. First pitch strike from Nambiar is 0-1 count.
What is that now? That's got to be over 70.
He is at 71. Ground ball down the line. Gross chases it down, takes a bad bounce off the fence, and he will stroll into second with a double.
All right, Arlington in business here.
Well, we heard some calls from the fans to score a run here, and sure enough, looks like Mamaroneck is seeing its first bit of trouble
in quite a while. First hit of the day for Quinn, so now it's Johnson, and here's a question for you. Johnson, who's at the plate, 8 of his last 11, as he was 8 for 9 coming into the at-bat against Kumar back in the 7th, 0 for 2 against Kumar, so now 8 for his last 11. At the plate, sun setting quickly here, so even an inning or two might be pushing it, I think, with the light. I mean, it's getting dark quickly, and that could get dangerous really fast. So, the question of, number one, do you walk him? Or number 2, do you maybe throw 2 or 3 pitches, see if he's going to bunt, and then walk him if he doesn't?
Interesting idea there.
Because if you say it, you walk him. You don't have to throw the intentional pass. So maybe a pitch out or 2, which is almost the same as an intentional pass. See if he squares around. If he does, then you throw to him and you get the out. And then you've got Nambiar up there as a strikeout pitcher.
Well, we're about to see, Ken. So Nambiar about to step onto the rubber. Johnson with 1 foot in the box.
Let's see.
And let's get it on.
I don't think he'll be bunting. I wouldn't bunt him.
Ball low, 1-0.
Although you really need Kumar to find the strike zone here.
Yes.
And you
corners are in.
You need Karlan also to keep anything in front of him. Anything and everything.
2-0. So they're pinching in on the corners with Matt and Sommer. And the pitch on the outside corner for strike 1.
Looked like Kumar
2-1 count.
Looked like he took a little bit off that one, just wanted to find the zone with it. That's when you know you're a pitcher, not just a thrower. That's an impressive play there from Kumar to find that strike zone.
And the pitch. Oh, he looks back to second base. Trying to see what's going on there. There was no one there to cover, so that was just a token attempt from Nambiar.
And over in the bullpen, it's Flato again.
It's a ground ball.
Oh, no.
Trying to get the runner at third. Oh, and he drops it. And he's going home with the lead run. Arlington with the first run of the game as Miles Houghton throws it to Peter Matt. Matt can't hold on to it. It trickles into foul territory. And Quinn scores the first run of the game. 1-0 Arlington. No outs on the board, and Johnson is at first base with a fielder's choice.
It's a follow-through from the play we saw Kumar make a few innings ago. When he went to second to get the force out, it's a gutsy play, it's a daring play, and when it pays off, it's worth it.
He had him. He had him at third. If Peter Matt had held on to that ball,
but that's a play where you need an out. You need it. If one out and one on third and Nambiar on the mound, you're fine. You're fine. You've got to get the out.
Obviously, that was the strategy. I think the conference at the mound was talking about catch that out. Throws to first, safe.
Commander Steve telling the catcher Karlan to reel that one in, and he does. But see, that's a big out. They can get a ground ball double play, get out of this thing. But that's an out you got.
Well,
then
you're tempting the baseball gods, Ken, because you can't say that would have been the strategy by Arlington. You can't say then that would have been the pitch by.
I think
Nambiar.
Regardless, I think we can all agree that the ground ball to second is an out that you've got to have it first.
Well, we can postulate all we want. Chiapparelli was calling for that throw to third base. There's no way that Miles Houghton did that on his own.
Yeah, I mean that's.
I have to believe that was the that was the coaching instruction.
Well, hypothetically, we'll hear after the game.
Right.
So
hopefully we're hearing it in the post-game interview after a victory.
Yes. Not sure they'll want to be bothered after.
Foul ball, straight back and out of play. 0-2 count with 1 out and a runner on first.
That one scattered the masses.
1 run in for Arlington.
For Mamaroneck in the bottom half, it'll be 7-8-9. It'll be Orgel, Levitz, Houghton, and Genovese.
Ground ball back to Nambiar. Throws high, dropped. And he's safe. Both runners are safe. Another fielder's choice safe.
Sommer will come in and talk to Nambiar at the mound here, try and settle him down. We've seen Sommer over the last few games be the captain of this infield, try and settle down his teammates in a time of need. Coach for Arlington will call timeout. And there'll be a pinch runner over at second, I'm pretty sure.
I think Coach Flynn is calling for a pinch runner at second base for Christian Johnson. Obviously, that is got to be their fastest runner on the bench.
So Mamaroneck's in a bit of a bind. You know, you've got to work out of it, and we talked about it at the top maybe 12 innings ago.
Yep.
But those defensive lapses, those mental errors, you can't be making.
Good memory.
Thanks.
He offered at it. Throw to second. Oh, close play.
A lot closer than you'd expect. You want, and I don't, excuse me, I'm not sure what his name is. I know his first name is AJ, because people have been yelling at him for a while.
Right. AJ Ramputi.
Yeah, there you go.
Junior outfielder for Arlington.
But you've got to assume that you've got a slide there.
Yeah.
That play was a lot closer than it should have been. But on we go. And if you're Mamaroneck, you can't be disheveled here. You've got to stay focused. And I'm sure that that's going to be the message from Chiapparelli moving forward.
Called strike 2. But after the 2 misplays, the poor throw from Nambiar most recently to Pecora at second, and the poor catch by Matt at first, that called strikeout, leaves it only 2 outs in the inning as Dan Schweitzer, the shortstop, now steps to the plate. Nambiar has now thrown 83 pitches this afternoon. Well past Plato.
I'm going to call you old school again, but I think this is a little much.
This is the season. This is the last pitch for the last. Oh, the ball gets by Karlan and the runners advance. On the wild pitch.
Well, you're seeing it all happen at once here from Mamaroneck. You made it 13 innings with no mental mistakes,
right.
13 innings with no physical mistakes, 13 innings of pretty picture-perfect defensive baseball from the Mamaroneck squad, and now...
So they're intentionally walking.
To get to Kleingans.
Right.
But now you're seeing it all happen at once. Just a compilation of everything. Perhaps the mental error on Houghton going from second to third, or perhaps it was manager's orders. We're not going to say it either way. But the error then allowing the run to score, then the ground ball back to the mound, the high throw from Nambiar, and the shortstop Pecora unable to handle it, a few walks, and here we are.
First pitch is a ball. 1-0 to Kleingans. 0 for 1 on the day. Base is loaded. Ball low, 2-0. So what I was about to say is this is the last pitching outing of Nambiar's career. I think he wants to go down on the mound.
Yeah, but I'd like him to go down on the mound with an arm that still works.
Ball sky high to Genovese. He runs under it. Ends up just on the infield grass, just outside the infield dirt, rather, to end the inning. And we will go to the bottom of the 13th inning with the score now 1-0 Arlington. So Tom Orgalevitz is leading off the inning in the 7-hole.
7, 8, 9.
And Genovese are on deck and in the hole respectively. Here in the bottom of the 13th inning, 1-0 Admirals over the Tigers.
Very dark.
First pitch is high for ball 1.
Not just the clouds that are rolling in, but on the field as well. And an interesting time to be a hitter.
Strike down the middle. 1-1 count to Orgalevitz. He's pitching quick and he's throwing strikes. That curveball was in for a strike. 1-2 from Kleingans. Pitch is low and away. Count evens up at 2-2. Orgalevitz is holding for time as he gets the instructions from third base coach Chiapparelli. Strike 3 on the outside corner.
Can't be too many instructions now. I mean, it's got to be get something going. I mean, and now you see a guy like Miles Houghton come to the plate, as it is dark right now. And
Houghton 0 for 3 on the day.
Houghton, who is 0 for 3, but who we saw make the mental mistake in the top half of this inning. Got to get it done with the bat now.
Ground ball up the middle. Into center field for a single. Houghton is on with the ground ball base hit.
What I tell you, make the mistake in the top half, make up for it in the bottom. Now, he's got some speed. It's dark. I would not be overly surprised to see them try and swipe one here. You haven't tested the arm of Zach Al all afternoon long. It's dark. It's a long throw from behind the plate.
Oh, and no surprise, as fast as Miles Houghton is, they're sending in Marquez Jackson Allen to run for Houghton.
Oh, man. That's one of the scariest things I've ever seen.
The beast running back from the football team with the lightning quick speed is in at first to run for Houghton after Houghton has done his job, gotten the hit.
I can't imagine them allowing this to continue. It is so scarily dark over my head right now. The scoreboard is really the only thing I can see out there.
Right. First pitch called strike 1. Pickoff attempt.
Jeez.
Not even close.
Last thing you want to see is a sleepy Jackson Allen over at first.
It is remarkable how dark the field has gotten here. He's running and fouled off straight back. So the count moves to 0-2 as Jackson Allen jogs back to first.
Maybe give him another chance to swipe it. I mean, it's 0-2 now. This cloud is the scariest thing I've ever seen, and I've seen some scary stuff.
It has gotten incredibly dark here. High ball. They look for the snap throw. Oh, and he drops the ball, but Jackson Allen was scurrying back to the bag.
One, two, the count, and this cloud is looming above us.
He's off. Ground ball.
Base hit.
Into the hole. Jackson Allen rounds for third. He's going to be safe at third base. Genovese with the single. Makes it first and third with one out. The second baseman was covering on the steal. The ball goes into the vacated hole, and we have runners at first and third with one away. And Andy Karlan is at the plate.
Well, my apologies for yelling over your call there, Steve. but
not at all.
Wow. I mean, first off, if you could look above us right now at home, you would see the cloud very similar to that in the movie Twister.
Yes.
Right before everybody
Luckily, we're
perished.
not in Kansas. Otherwise, you would hear the sirens and people would be running for cover.
Yeah, and people are running for cover. There are plenty of people here right now who are running for those open doors. There are open doors both to our right and to our left.
Can we get some SUVs surrounding the field with their high beams?
So, 2 on, 1 out. Houghton comes through after making a mental error in the top half of this inning, comes through with the base hit. Jackson Allen comes in to run for him. He comes on as we get the severe weather alert on our cell phones. And Jackson Allen on the hit and run from Genovese, who gets his first hit of the afternoon, now on at third. And what do you do first and third here?
Well, amazingly, as Karlan offers at that first pitch, low, swing and a miss for 0-1. The sky has lightened a little bit. It has definitely gotten considerably brighter than it was about 20 seconds ago.
Almost looks like the Independence Day thing.
Defensive indifference as the winning run is now at second base.
I don't know if you call that a defensive indifference. That's a stolen base. That's the winning run. A base hit wins the game now.
Well, they did not throw. So in the book, I think that gets called as defensive indifference.
I don't know.
And the pitch. High, ball 2.
Base hit wins it from Mamaroneck here. Genovese with speed. They've got 2 chances.
Ground ball into the right field. Genovese comes around, and he will score the winning run. Safe at the plate, and Mamaroneck wins it in the bottom of the 13th inning, and the Tigers storm the field.
Wow.
Karlan with the line drive to right field, wins it in extra innings,
They're
and
stunned.
the Tigers are off to the sectional championship.
They are stunned in yellow. Do you believe it? How about them apples, huh?
An incredible line drive shot in between the first and second baseman. The hard hit ball fielded by the right fielder, but the speed of Genovese and the diving headfirst slide into home plate wins it for Mamaroneck. And once again, Mamaroneck baseball is headed to the Section 1 championship.
Wow.
An
Steve.
incredible turn of events as the sky lightened up, the clouds parted, and the victory was there.
Wow. Steve, wow. I mean, wow. I can't. I don't have it for you. That's why that's not defensive indifference. I'll tell you that right now. That's a stolen base leading to a winning run. They're stunned in their yellow uniforms from Arlington.
What an amazing turn of events for the Mamaroneck varsity baseball team.
I do not believe what we just saw.
Andy Karlan proves his Division I caliber with a super clutch hit in the bottom of the 13th inning with runners on second and third. The winning run standing on second base with all the speed in the world. You have your 2 fastest base runners on base in Kezi Jackson Allen and Emerson Genovese. We'll be back in just a moment with post-game interviews and post-game commentary. What an incredible victory for Mamaroneck. We're here with Andy Karlan with the game-winning hit in the 13th inning. It was an incredible game throughout, a lot of defensive brilliance, but it came down to after a couple of miscues, you had to step up to the plate and come through. How do you feel?
I feel great. I mean, their defense was playing a hell of a game. They got it done on the field. They got it done. They put up 1 in the top of the 13th. We played good defense all around. Kumar, Bill pitched a hell of a game. And we just did it there in the bottom of the 13th.
Did you happen to notice that as dark as it got while you were in the on-deck circle and in the hole, it got a little bit lighter? Did it make it a little bit easier to see the ball there as you were batting?
It was dark out there, but for sure it was easier to see it because it cleared up a little bit. I was worried it was going to start pouring, but we were going to get it in anyways.
Well, after a marathon game, you guys are headed on to the Section 1 championship. Any thoughts on as you head into that game on Saturday night?
I mean, it feels great. We just got to get prepared these next couple of days and go out there and do it.
I'm here with Kumar Nambiar, who proves to be the winning pitcher in the game. I mean, you got to hand it to Bill Flatow to start the game, but how do you feel after over 100 pitches in your last outing to throw 80 pitches tonight? That was quite a performance.
Thank you. I mean, I'm tired, but you got to do what you got to do to win. Bill came out and gave us a great game.
Right.
6 innings of shutout baseball. That's what we expect. And I mean, our bats didn't show up for the first bunch of innings, but that's all right. We battled and we stuck with it till the 13th, so it was good.
So you get to finish your high school career in a Section 1 championship. I'm sure that's everything you dreamed of. Moving on now, how do you feel?
It's great. I mean, either way, this was the last game of our season on this field, and I mean, walking off in the top of the 13th like that, it was kind of tough. But I mean, we came back, believe in your players, and I mean, Andy's been great for us all year. So for him to do that is just unbelievable.
Ken Reischmann here with Coach Schaap again, and guys, how did that feel in the bottom half of the 13th inning? Took an extra 2 hours, but how'd it feel?
It didn't feel good in the top of the 13th. We had a chance in the 7th. Looking back at myself, I'm ready to kill myself for not doing what I should have done. And I just Kumar was a stud what he was doing, so I gave him a shot. Hey, I can't fault myself for doing something like that. But to battle back after trailing and come back and walk them off, two teams that really wanted the game. I mean, Arlington, hats off to them. They played an unbelievable game, as did ours. It was an awesome game, man. Awesome game, and it's nice to go to the finals. We used Kumar up, so that's unfortunate, but hey, we got the win. That's important.
Well, you definitely can't coach for Saturday. You had to get there first, so you did that pretty well. So take us through that 5th inning after that obstruction play over at third base. What exactly went on?
The third baseman faked the tag when the ball was at the catcher's glove. So if the ball got by the catcher, fakes the tag, he gets home. Because the ball didn't get by the catcher, he just gets third base, but the guy gets ejected because he can't fake a tag. Kumar broke his leg, that's why.
All right, Coach. So there's a few days off.
And let the kid play, be honest with you.
Exactly. But a few days off, Saturday the final. What's the game plan moving forward?
Game plan is try to score more than them. And many innings it's going to take, which it might take a while.
And we saw that today. It took 13. Coach, congratulations.
Credit for hanging there and banging the ball there. We did a really good job. Miles made that one mistake that cost us the first run and got the big hit to get us back in. So payback's good.
So that'll wrap it up here from Manchester Field. An exciting 2-1 victory in 13 innings over the Arlington Admirals. You had a little bit of everything in that game. You had brilliant pitching. You had fantastic defense for the majority of the game.
Sure did.
Not much hitting, but you did have some hits. Just through and through, all in all, a fantastic game.
It was definitely a heck of a baseball game. I mean, it took an extra 3 days, but we got there. 13 innings, the walk-off in the bottom half after they go up 1-0 in the top half of the inning. You wait 13 innings for a run, you finally see one, and the next thing you know, you're walking off the field. So a heck of a game. You got to give credit where credit is due to Nambiar, who comes onto the mound, throws a heck of a game out of the pen. But then you can't forget about Bill Flatow, who goes 6 innings without giving up a run.
Absolutely.
So a heck of a job from the Mamaroneck pitching staff, and offensively it took them a while, but they got it done, and well, they beat the rain, and it's about to beat us.
Exactly. It's just starting to come down. We've heard a couple cracks of thunder. I feel a few drops on my head. So we're going to get out now. For Ken Reischmann, this is Steve Anastas and executive producer Rob Moretti. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great evening.